Who's winning and why? Jono, we start with you.
Yeah, I reckon it's certainly the ability of Carlton getting inside forward 50s and quick ball movement into there. I think the defence now with no Sam Taylor, I think they've got too much firepower up forward.
Yeah, I'm just going to counteract that, Jono, purely because you said Carlton. I'm just going to go for GWS, just so there's a bit of friendly competition in the box here. So everything to play for here.
Last game of the home and away season for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Big crowd at Marvel Stadium. Here's Nate Brown on Triple M Footy.
Here we go. Umpire ready in the middle of bounce. De Koning to do the ruck work. Toby Green, a bit of a push and shove. De Koning up high, wins the first one. Hewitt couldn't take it with him. Tom Green been so good since he came back from injury. Kelly stands flat-footed, then found a path out with the left foot inside forward 50. Fisted away. Akers, so good on that wing. Quick handball out. Another one to Sard. Sard to the left. Chipping ball. He's looking for Cottrell. Cottrell had a bit of a fumble to it. Ash was there as well. He wants to get it out of bounds, and he does. Well, Cottrell kept it in, but now the boundary umpire says no for the boundary throw-in.
He's done well the last 5 weeks, Cottrell. He's really played that wing role well for Carlton. He's always been that outlet when they've come out of defensive 50. So many times it's been Sard-Cottrell combination coming out of defensive 50.
He's got himself a contract for next season. He's been on 1 year pretty much since he came into this Carlton squad in 2018 in the pre-season. Ball on the outer side wing. Newman trying to find his way through and can't. Umpire calls for it. How do Carlton approach this game, Jono? Do you want to be winning and taking winning form into finals?
Yeah, I reckon good form's always the best form. You cannot flirt with form at all. If your game plan is to win the game, go and win the game.
Short ball from Cornelio, game number 200 for him. He's got Lloyd, and now shifts to Perryman at left half forward. 70 out from goal, kicks into the pocket. Wiedering got a hand on it, kept it away from Hogan. Now Bedford tucked away in the pocket, 40 out, kept it low coming in. Knocked away from Daniels by McGovern. Hot handball to Walsh, back into the team today. Fisher had to be quick, and now it's Wiedering.
The human caravan got the ball moving, but Perryman with great courage going back in front of Mackay takes a good mark and/or free kick.
Pressure is hot here at the moment, which we expected. Obviously, GWS owning the territory at the moment in this game.
One of the best kicks in the side. Perryman sets it up to the top of the square. De Koning will have a run and jump. Sard at ground level was the first one back there. Hogan, fresh from 9 last week, couldn't burst through there. With a ball up 15 metres out.
Been tested early, this defence of the Carlton Footy Club. Number of balls coming in fast and quick and long.
Umpire elevates it quickly. Ruck work done. Tom Green couldn't take it with him. McGovern on the left. Clears the area. Cottrell, good hands in front of his face. Really good get out by the Blues, and he goes to Cunningham on centre wing.
He's held up, David Cunningham. 9 games this season that he's played. 9 wins. Might call himself the lucky charm, not if he kicks it like that. He turns it over, and Ryan Angwin back into the team tonight for the Giants. Marks and looks for Green on the wing. His kick fell short. Loose ball fell to Sard, and he wants to get things moving straight away. Outer side, little handball from Hewitt was okay for Hollands. 65 out, Curnow in the vicinity. Whitfield coming over the top. Smashes that one out of bounds for a throw-in, 20 around from goal.
So it's Himmelberg that's got the match-up on Curnow. Obviously, the late out, Sam Taylor would have had that match-up, but Himmelberg's gone to him early.
Triple M, Seabar Super special comments. Seabar Super making hard work pay off. You're Kate and Chris in the back row. Boundary throw-in, Blues in attack. First time they've been inside forward 50, off the knee, straight to Himmelberg. Turns it around the corner, out towards, and that's a great mark out there taken by Callum Brown. Sticky hands it was. He's going to go down the line. Long ball. Only Riccardi down there. Almost reeled in the mark. McGovern at ground level. Handball it up to De Koning. The Blues handball it back now. They've got time to think about it. They go back across the goal. They're defending, and it just got there. It just got there to Akers, and Toby Green holds him up. And Akers, 20 metres out from the goal, is defending, still no score, early stages.
It was a risky kick. He actually needed to kick it higher and longer. He almost tried that sort of old stab pass, but he certainly gave everyone in the stadium a heart attack.
We would have been very nervous for a moment then, Blake Akers. Jacob Wiedering, the captain tonight. With no Patrick Cripps. Kicks from defensive 50, city side wing. Mackay presents. Mark not paid. Blues fans thought that he had enough of it. Hollands trying to work his way through a tackle. Angwin's hands were fast, and now Hogan. Hoists the ball high, up and under. McGovern couldn't get a fist on it. Waiting at the back was Green. Helps it forward. Akers there for Carlton on defensive 50. gathered it off his ankles. Now McGovern can set things up from centre half back.
The kick isn't good though. Straight back to Tom Green. Wants to move it quickly. They got one-on-ones everywhere. Into Kelly. Kelly could almost go the distance from there. 55 out. Left foot. Kelly just misses. Through for one behind. Jake Riccardi turns around and gives him a bit of the Shannon Knoll. Through for one behind. And it's the first score of the day. The Giants lead by a point.
Well, it looks like Carlton, they're just trying to use their hands and their skills to get out of the defence, Kate. That there, I think it needs to be more your legs need to run, carry and work right at the defence of the GWS Giants and make a decision rather than just kick blindly all the time.
Ball movement not working at the moment. GWS 5 inside 50s, Carlton just the 1.
Oh, here's number 6 as Perryman loads up. High and long once more. Iden in from the side and Brown as well. Couldn't mark. And again, it's Carlton at ground level. Kemp with a kick that's, well, I guess you could say he's gone 15. Zach Fisher bites off an aggressive one. Turnover. Whitfield pounces. 40 out directly in front. Kept it low, but too low. And Wiedering marks it fullback for the Blues.
Early stage of game, Kate, you've got to play percentages, don't you? Especially back deep in your defensive 50.
And if you're going to turn the ball over, you want to turn it over far and wide out near the boundary.
Wiedering looking for the coning. Up over the top of the pack. Couldn't take it with him. Blake Acres gives the fend off and then gets a handball through. Out towards Owies and back to Akers. Akers another one to Cockrell. Onto Sam Walsh. Steps inside with the right foot. Looking for Harry Mackay. The kick isn't good though. But making a meal of it back there was the Giants' defence, and they have to rush the ball out. It's a bouncing one. Sard will be the first one there. He's quick and he socks it off the ground. Back to Himmelberg. Himmelberg's handball's okay, but under pressure still. Harry Mackay, left-hand handball, looking for Hewitt. Hewitt turns around, left foot back inside forward 50, and Sard went up high. Snap off the body. Bouncing ball. The Blues have got 3-on-1. Can they figure this out for a goal? Cockrell. Off the ground. Had to get it, and he did. First blood to Carlton. They're one straight. The Giants are one behind. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, it was just pressure from Carlton. Himmelberg should have taken the mark and got the ball out of their the defensive 50 for the Giants. But Carlton, as soon as the ball hit the ground, they were just sweating on their opponents, forcing the handball. It was the handball back in from Himmelberg, which put his teammate under a whole lot of pressure. Then they just willed it forward, and as you said, Brownie, 3-on-1 in the goal square. You're probably not going to stop that if you're the GWS Giants.
Robbo for Bob Jane T-Marts. How's that roar from the Blues Army?
Oh, they've been in it since day dot. Seriously, the first bounce. They came late though, Jack. But they're all in. Seriously, smashed this crowd, I reckon, of 30,295. Both coaches doing their stuff down here on the boundary as well.
And really important tap on, just looking at the Harvey Norman replay from Charlie Kerner to get that out the back. May not have scored, but definitely assisted that.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footing. Akers came charging in off the wing. Didn't lay any contact with the handball. There'll be a free kick coming back to the Blues, though. Hewitt cut one high. He's still inside the centre square, George Hewitt. 23 disposals, 10 tackles last week against the Suns. Brings maximum effort every week. Long to the key forwards. Curnow couldn't get a look at it. Waiting now at the back. Ash can work together with Cornelio. Hard against the boundary line and exits for the Giants.
Wiedering stood tall up against Keith. Got the handball back. Underground handball. Zach Fisher finding out life's a lot easier as a half back than a half forward. Walsh high up and under ball back inside forward 50. Curnow fly in from the side was Iden. Owies, the great celebrator, can't get it off the ground. Fogging an opportunity too, but now the Giants clean it up and clear the area, but it might come back with interest because Fisher couldn't take the mark. Went to ground level, got it back. Newman standing start. Big ball, long ball. Does it get there? The umpires are going to confirm. He thinks it's touched. The Giants think it's touched.
I believe it's behind. Have a look. Check if it's touched, please. Sure. Score review. Umpires calls are behind. Please check to see if it's touched.
Dylan Buckley right on the line, or Jack Buckley, I should say. Dylan Buckley, great podcast.
No. Multitasking.
Yeah, both players play for the Giants. Dylan and Jack, I don't think they're related. But that's a behind.
Yeah.
You'll be happy with the plug, I reckon, Dill.
Absolutely.
Anything for a free plug.
Play on.
117 the Blues. Giants one behind. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
They look a bit nervous to me, Carlton. They look a little bit nervous. They're trying it a little bit too hard. I think they just need to settle themselves into the game and just let the game come to them.
It's a loud crowd, Jono.
We saw this last night with the Bulldogs, who had to win. It was a very nervous, very tense opening half from them. It's a bit the same tonight.
Yeah, well, it's a loud crowd when Carlton do something. When GWS does something, it's just completely silent. So there's about, I reckon, 20 GWS supporters at the far goalpost. But, yeah, apart from that, it's just a sea of navy blue in this stadium.
They've booked their final spot for the first time since 2013, Carlton, and they have come from everywhere to support them. Long searching ball. Curnow wrestling. Mackay got front spot on his man. Couldn't mark. Kept it in front. Snapped over his shoulder. Ball was touched. Perryman smacks it towards the boundary line. Mackay's still there. He's taken over. He's thrown in. 20 around from the Blues goal.
Well, we see where they're getting into it, Carlton. They've had the last 6 inside forward 50s at the moment, but unable to capitalise. Obviously, they've kicked the 1 goal, but they need to get more scoring opportunities for that return.
Triple M Red Z lending stats loans for the self-employed. So Big Briggsy got the touchdown. Canelio, a high up and under ball, just clears the area. Toby Green inserts himself. He couldn't mark it. Collins at ground level tackled and will have a ball up. 60 metres out from the Blues goal. They lead by 6 points.
It's your mate Brownie, Dill Buckley, that's got the match-up on Charlie Curnow. So they have changed that one already. Himmelberg now going to Mackay.
So a wild handball out of the pack from Green, but the Blues are going to go forward again. A bouncing ball. Owies tackled as soon as he got the ball. And we'll ball that up again. 30 metres out from the Blues goal. They're 1-1-7. The Giants are 1 behind.
And what we've seen Carlton do over the last couple of weeks, they've had a real good structure in their forward line. Now the 2 big tools, they can't be really sucked in and kicking them tools all the time. Go for those medium types as well.
Chris Johnson, Kate McCarthy, Seabass Super special comments. Seabass Super making hard work pay off as Ash kicks from the back pocket. Was under pressure. Hogan and De Koning contest on the wing. De Koning won it out. Shimmies a little handball to Sarden, sends it deep again. Nice contest from Mackay. Snap towards goal. Curnow playing in front, marks. Turns and goes. He came into the last round of the season trailing on the Coleman medal off the back of Tex last night. That's a nice one early for Curnow, and the Blues have got the first 2. They're 2-1-13. Giants 1 behind, 12 minutes gone. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, Jono just told us they'd had the last 6 inside 50s, make that number 7, but they were just setting up at the top of 50 beautifully, really unable to get the ball out of their D50 GWS, and just entry after entry, and on that occasion, Charlie Curnow, who's getting a whole lot of love from this crowd, knowing that he's just equalled the Coleman race. One more to win it outright, but just read the ball far better than his opponent on that occasion.
Bob Jane, team art, Robbo.
Yeah, he's just levelled it up. And I tell you what, with the lid on, Brownie, this joint, seriously, it is smashing levels. They're still trying to find their seats down here.
And Carlton's pressure, 190, Giants only at 174.
So the Blues have got the first 2. Can they get it out of the middle again? They can't. The umpire will elevate this one again.
They stood up early, Brandy. Their defence were under pressure. It's unlucky for the Giants to be able to hit the scoreboard. They had numerous opportunities with inside forward 50 to hit that scoreboard, but unable to capitalise.
Had some good looks to the Giants early. As Chris Johnson says on the Triple M Seabass Super Special comments, there was no capitalisation of it. And that'll be 50 metres and a big chance now.
That was stupid.
For Callan Ward, it was a very good set shot of goal. Can butcher it around the field a little bit, but when it comes to a set shot, he's not bad, Ash. No, you give me a look as it's not.
Clear right out, you guys.
When I see Callan Ward kick, I tend to think he nails them.
Silly play from Zach Fisher, though. Had the footy in his hand. The umpire wanted him to give it back to Cal Ward. He just dropped it on the ground. Everyone knows that's 50.
He's trying to give it back to his teammate. You've got to give it straight back to the opponent.
He's better than 50-50, Ash is telling me. This is 40 out directly in front for the Giants. He's now good, and they put it in the book. So the Giants get there first, 2-1-13, the Blues. 1 to Ward, they're 1-1-7.
Well, as Kate said, Zach Fisher's been really good off the half-back flank. He's found a home back there, but that there was just a massive brain fade of just not giving the ball straight back to him. The free kick was certainly there. It was over the shoulder by De Koning, but then he's just given it straight back to De Koning there. He must have thought it was his free kick at some stage, and then all of a sudden he's lifted up. He didn't know what to do. It was like he was in trouble. It's like when you get caught doing something when you're young and you go, oh, no, sorry.
You've been caught red-handed, and he's tried to do everything to get out of that, and there was no explaining to do.
But well done by Cal Ward to go back and slot that.
Sort on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Huge coffee expo ending Monday by a selected coffee machine, and get 10% back in gift cards.
Goes at 56%. Set
Hold
shots.
in, Carlton. Held before he got it. Play on.
You just wanted to back that up, didn't you, Brownie?
That's better than 50-50.
That's only just, but it's better. Free kick to the Blues. Curnow charging at the flag. Flies and marks. 45 out, 45-degree angle. He looks on tonight.
He does. He really does. And what we've seen his role play without Harry Mackay, he's played up the ground a lot, Kate, of these last 9 games or so when they haven't had him, especially when they've been winning. But that's a guy that just wants the football, nothing but the football. He came out fast, launched at it.
Has one already. To push this lead back out to 2 goals. The Coleman is Charlie's. Every player on the ground runs to him. And Charlie Curnow defends his title as the Coleman medalist. And what an applause from the Carlton Army as well. They know they've got a superstar in their lineup, and he's just getting going.
Huge moment in this game, obviously, for Charlie Curnow personally, and how good is that, having the crowd just roar. Goosebumps here. Fantastic work from him. A huge mark to take. Drop whoever you want back into the hole, because you won't do anything with Charlie Curnow running and launching at the ball like that.
This poor old Harry Perryman got the right in the back. Robbo, Bob Jane teammates.
I'll tell you what, fair amount of the crowd want to jump the fence too and get out to him. Seriously, it was like someone grabbing a magnum of verve, shaking it up, and pop, the lid's off.
Watching it with Robbo for Bob Jane teammates. Some of his very best down there. Whitfield from the restart. Akers takes a mark on his chest off the Fisher. Cops one on the way through. Chips the ball to Harry Mackay, who could get 50 metres. No. Lockie Keefe a bit overzealous.
Giants need to take a little bit of the sting out of this and control the game. It's getting away from them at the moment purely because of this atmosphere, and the Blues are feeding off it.
Mackay from centre wing. Inside 50, Martner with a flyer, couldn't mark it. At the back of the pack, Whitfield needed to be clean, he was. To Perryman, tumbles one back out of the defensive 50. McGovern has to sit underneath it, and he can't keep it in front of Callum Brown. We'll have a boundary throw in on centre wing, just in front of Robbo. 3-1-19 the Blues. Curnow has 2, and the Coleman, the Giants, a 1-1-7. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
You're spot on, Kate. It needs the Giants just need to get their hands on the ball and just soak up some of this pressure at the moment. Unable to do that at the minute.
Chris Johnson and Kate McCarthy. Triple M Super super special comments. And Keith managed to palm that out, but it's all Carlton. They just feel like they've got an extra at the stoppage at the moment. Akers kicks long. Whitfield dropped it. Under pressure. Himmelberg run down from behind. Giants under siege right now as Whitfield kicks it out of the air. That's marked by Durden inside the centre square. Curnow the target. He's got it!
Should have been a free kick anyway.
Move out. Move out.
He engaged in a wrestle with his man. He had his back to the footy at one stage. With sheer strength takes it. This for his 3rd in the first quarter.
Corey. Stay out 5 metres. Thank you. Play on.
One step, snap on the left, and he's kicked it straight into the man on the mark. It bounces back up to him. He tries to dribble one through, and he can't.
Everything happening at the moment for the Blues. He's a must-watch. Charlie Curnow as the Giants inch the ball out. They're under pressure. The Blues on the charge. Short ball finds Kelly. Still at defensive 50, Kelly. He's looking lateral. He's got Ash, and that's where he goes now. Ash still inside his defensive 50. Lockie Whitfield took the mark moments ago that he'd like his time over again, but no harm done. The goal wasn't scored, and now Ash goes for a run. Martin chases him. He's quite quick, Ash, and gets the ball towards half forward. The fly. At the front of the pack goes Briggs. Briggs bursts his way through. Got the kick out on the run. Kelly started this chain. Got the ball inside forward 50. Bedford in one way, out the other. Tackled. And now the Blues get it back through Walsh.
thought about giving the handball, waited a little longer, Walsh, and then eventually to Newman. Now gets it back on defensive 50. First game since round 19 from a hamstring injury. Durden went underground, absorbed the tackle from Himmelberg and then got it to Cunningham. Fogarty next link in the chain, 75 out from goal. Then looks for Owies, but getting back and taking an important mark inside defensive 50s, Connor Iden.
Yeah, really strong mark by Iden. Short ball and he finds Lockie Whitfield. Whitfield has got Canelio down the line. Elects not to go to him. Still there. Now he goes lateral. Not a bad kick and Ash. Ash at centre half back. That's an underground grubber. Straight back to the Blues. But a fumble. Now they get it back through Newman. Newman handball down. Another one. Mackay on the run. Chipping ball to Cunningham. Normally uses it well. Cunningham. Standing start. Got it to the goal square. It won't be a goal. It'll bounce through for one behind. Blues doing all the attacking. They're 3-2-20. The Giants are 1-1-7. We've played 20 minutes in this first term.
Yeah, deers in headlights at the moment to the Giants. They look really good when they're just building the ball up nice and slowly, taking the uncontested mark, but it's when they don't have an uncontested option, they're just making the wrong decision. That kick back through the middle was extremely dangerous from Ash. They just need to compete more if they need to go long down the line.
Here's Cummings' kick out of defence is marked. You've got no set up ahead of the ball. And McGovern moves it on quickly to Fogarty.
That's all across Carlton's defence. They're setting up very well.
55 out. He sends it towards the goal square. It's off hands and through for another behind.
A couple of times Whitfield's done that now. Got back and spoiled the ball through.
3-3-21 the Blues. The Giants 1-1-7. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
What are some of the numbers telling us? Red Z lending style.
Definitely the territory, Jono. 14 out of the last 16 inside 50s for the Blues.
The Giants were all over them early. Now it's all the Blues. Lockie Ash. The game being played in Carlton's half of the ground at the moment. Goes wide to the city side. Ball hits the deck. Briggs. He's at ground level front and centre again. We want him flying. Now Toby Green, good handball. Riccardi on the run. Space inside forward 50. And the mark is taken by Lockie Keefe. He looked to give it off to Callum Brown, but rightfully so went back and he's 20 out directly in front. Should kick this goal.
Much better there. They went long, but they went long to a contest where they could get numbers around the footy and then bring the ball to ground. And Briggs has found himself front and centre a couple of times, but he's really clean in that position and just got the handball out.
I reckon this guy's a good set shot too, Ash. What do his numbers tell us?
Yeah, you're all over it, Brownie. 14-5 career set shots.
Oh, yes.
Nathan.
The Giants not letting me down tonight. Lockie Keefe nails the goal for the Giants. And it's back to 8 points. 3-3-21 the Blues, 2-1-13 the Giants. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL, the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Yeah, they're set up well behind the ball, Carlton, but at that time there, they all got pushed right up the ground, and Wiedering was one of them who's come off with a slight injury, which we'll get Robbo onto very, very soon. But they all just pushed up too high, and the Giants, to their credit, fought their way through it, worked it through hands, used their leg to run and carry, especially Riccardi just sent it really long, and Keefe got out the back. That was real good ball movement off the back half and coming straight through the middle, and you've got to be precise when you're doing that, and the Giants were certainly that.
Robbo for Bob Jane Team Arts, Jacob Wiedering.
Yeah, they were in disarray actually in defence because Wiedering was off straight in the rooms. It's a finger. It's right side. Medical kit has just been rushed in, so either a bad dislocation, could be a fracture, but I think it is a dislocated finger.
Bob Jane Team Arts have a great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Canelio marches out of the middle. Tried a cute little left foot ball that just fell short of Bedford. Zach Fisher can clean it up for the Blues.
Outside 5.
Pops a little pass to Akers on defensive 50.
Outside 5.
Sam Walsh. It's an 8-point lead to the Blues. We've just ticked past 23 minutes. Walsh along to the wing. Always rove that off the pack. Handball to Hewitt. Sold him into all sorts of trouble. Umpire thought about it for a while and then eventually pinned him holding the ball.
Choice hotels around the grounds. Australia taking on Germany in the basketball, Ash.
They are. Germany 6, Australia 0.
Not a great start. Then it was half forward and McGovern a big fly. Couldn't get two hands to it and bring it down. Opportunity now for Tom Green. Forward handball. Riccardi just made a meal of it in the end. Coming in and picking it up and cleaning it up was Toby Green, and he kicks their third. So all of a sudden, the Blues dominating inside 50s possession, everything, and the Giants bring it back to 2 points.
Yeah, well, they need to get the ball in deeper as much as they can because it brings players like Toby Green into the match. That centre clearance that they got, they just tried to hit up a target. You said it yourself, Jack. It was way too cute from Cornelio. Just tried to hit up a 30, 40 metre out target, but just get it in deep, compete, bring it to ground, and then Toby Bedford, Toby Green, all of them can go to work down there.
And the other thing too is what Carlton's doing in their defence card is that when they get the slight chance to think they're going to win the ball, they all taken off. They're all taken off. I think what they need to do, they need to reset themselves, win the ball, then take off, rather than taking off thinking that your teammate, and that's where they've been caught out the last couple of times.
For all their dominance, Carlton only up by 2 points in this game now.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Sunday night at Marvel Stadium, big crowd, last game of the home and away season. Giants must win to play finals footy. It's been a big turnaround for GWS, 6 and 16 last year. They won 2 of their last 10, changed coach, and good things have happened since then. Adam Kingsley's done a great job in his first year. Walsh to Fisher on the wing, tackled. Whitfield got him, ball jarred free. And that's holding the ball, Chew. Red's Ed Lending.
Carlton concede only 43 points from turnover, ranked 5th defensively, 13 out of their 19 points for the Giants from turnover.
Ash plays on quickly, looks for Hogan. Ball sat on his head and it was knocked away. Walsh picked it up, turned back into trouble, and has got a problem. He was going one way, and then when he changed direction and went the other way, he got tackled immediately.
Well, that's been really evident in the last 5 minutes. The tackling of the Giants has lifted. They're executing their tackle early on. A lot of their tackles were getting broken. Carlton were able to get their hands free, use the ball how they like, but at the moment, they're executing their tackles quite well.
It's the voice of Chris Johnson, who kicked 10 goals in a grand final once for the Northern Knights.
And when he talks, you listen, because if you don't listen, the alternative is not something that you want.
I wish it was 10, Brownie. I'll take 10, though.
Toby Green, 3 seconds, hits the post. 1-1 this afternoon, and a point the difference, Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Man, that pressure we speak of, what's it at? Giants, have they ramped it up the last 5 minutes?
If we look at the last 10 minutes, still hovering about 180 where they've been throughout most of the quarter.
I believe it was 7 goals he kicked in a grand final.
10 sounds better.
Hold it. So the Blues move the ball towards centre wing. Nice tap by Durden, got it out. And they go inside forward 50. Owies couldn't mark it. Fisted away from him. Himmelberg picked it up, chipped the football out. And now the run and carry from Daniels needs to just settle on it now with the right foot, chipping ball. And he finds Cumming, another short one, finds Tom Green.
I must say, Carlton's kicks inside forward 50 haven't been very good at all. They're not up to a standard. There've been a lot of plays out where the kick hasn't been weighted on the right side.
Tom Green came back from injury. He had 38, 31 and 39. The last 3 weeks, the ball's out of bounds on the outer side.
Huge defensive play by Daniel Lloyd, though, to get back and to spoil that ball. But you're right, Jono, if that was put to advantage, he gets nowhere near that footy, and Carlton are having a set shot in front of goal.
Robbo, how's the human caravan going down there?
He's just strolled out, puffed up too, ready to get back on, Brownie. I reckon it's a dislocated finger. I think he's okay.
That's Jacob Wiedering we're talking about.
Fisher kicks to half forward. This work from Durden. Handballs to Cunningham, who spun away and then had Walsh driving by into the pocket for Owies. A couple of bites of the cherry and couldn't mark. And it's out of bounds.
You know what his new nickname is? Titanium.
Rocks.
Hurry. All over it, all over
Bit
it.
of sponsor integration.
Yeah.
Bit of craft from K-Mac.
Yeah.
We like that.
Tom Green on fire at the moment, guys. 10 possessions at the minute.
A point the difference. 28 minutes gone in the opening term at Marvel Stadium.
Play on.
Mackay's tap down was okay. Coming.
High contact.
He was called for a high contact. Non-controlling umpire came in.
10 metres.
Harvey Norman replay will be interesting on this one. Free kick, it'll be going to Matt Owies. 45 out.
One of the great celebrators. I think there's Tom Papley and him and Daylight for the rest of the competition. But this guy is closing in on Papley very quickly. One of his favourites is when he goes to the jumper and he lifts it up.
Just a little flex at the same time as well. Must be a small forward thing.
Just up and down.
Yeah, they're weird people.
Used to beat the crap out of him. Owies for his first. Straight to the jumper. Smashes the chest. Carlton back in front. 4-3-27 to 3-2-20. 29 minutes gone, Triple M Shell scoreboard.
A couple of Bulldogs fans just on the Harvey Norman replay, not looking super happy, although they should be because Carlton are in front and that's what they need to happen.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Ash.
Choice Hotels, Germany 16, Aussies at 10, Brownie.
Boomers 13.
13 make that, which is great news. Just a Red Z lending stat. Sam Walsh, his first game since round 19, 11 disposals, Brownie.
Pump it up, big time.
As you can tell, I don't really follow the basketball that closely. Sorry about the energy level.
Well, you're sitting next to Channel 9's #1 basketball host in Nathan Brown, of course.
I've crossed the line there, haven't I?
Basketball? Would you play basketball, Brady?
Here we go. Just a little bit of hoop time every now and again.
Hoop time.
So back in the middle, 7-point lead to the Blues. Entertaining first term. Briggs couldn't control, then just went with a big kick out of mid-air. It was dangerous stuff, and Akers picked it up. Dumped it back inside forward 50. It's a finger breaker. Charlie Curnow couldn't mark it. Cunningham at ground level. Dropped the football, then eventually got the ball out. Now they go back inside forward 50. The chip is high. Get underneath it, Akers does. Went back with the flight. Angwin, quick handball, under pressure. Here's Ash. Looking for and finding Bedford out there. The ball got out the back of those players, and Lloyd won the race to it. Then his handball missed the target. Bedford went back. He's got some wheels on him. Handball back. Whitfield been very good to Lloyd. Another one to Green. That's Tom. Gets big numbers and chips the ball towards Riccardi on centre wing.
Outside 5.
45 seconds left before quarter time. It's felt every bit of a final, this one. A week out from the real stuff starting.
Stand.
Green 65 out. The low ball inside 50. Missed his man, and Chincotta can mop it up for the Blues. And sweep a handball to full back, and now Mitch McGovern, once his full measure, was bumped as he kicked and hasn't really cleared the area. Good mark taken by Angwin.
Nothing to go to there, Jack. There was all the Carlton players were hoping for it to go the other side. They went out there to the City side, didn't come broadcast side.
Down to 10 seconds. Time enough for a mark for the Giants, but De Koning stands in the way, and he stands tall. So that will be quarter time unless he completely butchers this straight back to the opposition. Entertaining first quarter. 7 goals, tick 4 of those for the Blues. The Giants got the last couple in Owies. Answered 4-3-27 Carlton, 3-2-20. And Robbo, just quickly before we go to the break, Adam Sard looked like he had a little bit of an issue before the break.
He's got more than an issue. He's got a left ankle hobbling, collapsed in the centre of the ground. It happened on the outer half-back flank. Going to have to assess him at quarter time, Brownie.
McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
This week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Macca's app.
Triple M's next Know the Show to Go experience tickets to the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
This is a big start.
That ain't all. You get $3,000 to spend, and we'll put you up at the Pullman Melbourne on the park, a stone's throw from our iconic sporting precinct. For sport and events accommodation, pullmanonthepark.com.au. You just got to know the show to go. The Marty Sheargold Show. Listen closely tomorrow 6 to 9 and answer a question at work to get on the standby list.
We're ready to go.
Get this grand final underway.
Triple M's Know the Show to Go is back, baby.
GFAFL 22/90.
Win a super VIP experience at the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final in the Shell V-Power Superbox. Visit shell.com.au/superbox for details. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion GFAFL 23/55.
Disney 100 Wonders collector cards are now at Woolworths. Celebrate 100 years of Disney with 100 of your favourite Disney, Pixar, Marvel and Star Wars collector cards. There's something for every Disney fan. Plus, fun card games to play with your family and friends. Get 1 pack free with every $30 you spend. And right now, get a bonus card pack when you buy any participating Lean Cuisine or Masterfoods products in a $30 shop. Helping you get your Woolies worth. T's and C's and exclusions apply while stocks last.
It could always be our shout with free barista-made coffee for a year on McCafe. Just buy any eligible McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. Limited time only. Ends 29th of the 8th, 23. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecomp for full terms.
Real people,
Real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now,
Sexyland.com.au.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year spring spend and save is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and will only charge you $750, or spend $2,000 and will only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and will only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles spend and save event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
Is your unused car costing you money? Rego, insurance, maintenance, it all adds up. If you'd rather turn your car into cash, sellmycar.com.au is the answer. Don't waste time trying to sell privately and forget inviting complete strangers to your house for a test drive. Avoid the hassle and the contact and go to sellmycar.com.au. Get an estimate, make an appointment and they'll buy your car on the spot. You'll even have the money in your bank the next day. LMCT 11373.
Hey, there he is. How's dad life?
Phil, I'm so tired, but it's the best.
All settled in with everything?
Yeah, pretty much. Switched my super over to Seabus too.
What's that got to do with your kid?
Oh, well, I really got to make sure this hard work pays off now. You know.
True.
Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. To consider if Seabus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for PDS and TMD. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Quarter time at Marvel Stadium, almost a sellout, big crowd, big atmosphere, and it's the Blues who lead 4-3-27 to the Giants, 3-2-20 for McDonald's, and Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Charlie Curnow has 2 goals and has locked away the Coleman medal. All single goal kickers for the Blues after that, all single goal kickers for the Giants. Downstairs for Bob Jane Team Arts is Mickey Roberts.
Yeah, all happening with the Blue Baggers. De Koning having some work done on a groin. Just right now on the outer part of the huddle. You've got Worthing with that dislocated finger, hasn't come back onto the ground. And Sard was the one on the outer wing, collapsed, left ankle, got into the centre, couldn't support his body weight. They didn't take his boot off. He's just being addressed by Michael Voss now. Let's see if he starts.
Bob J. Team Arts, have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. First quarter numbers, Two-Man, Red Z Lending.
Well, GWS, 7 out of the last 10 entries, and they posted 2-1 to the Blues, 1 straight. Curnow, number 1 ranked player, 5 disposals, 3 marks inside 50, and 2 majors.
Kate McCarthy, Chris Johnson got you covered all night long. Triple M Seabus Super Special comment.
I reckon they've done well. The Giants done well to stay within 7 points here. It was all Carlton after the first, say, 7 or 8 minutes, but they had a lot of looks forward but weren't able to capitalise the Giants. But Carlton, their ball movement going forward was okay, Kate, through the middle of the ground, but it was more their forward entries. We spoke about it a few times. If they just can kick it to advantage a few times, I wouldn't mind seeing Charlie Curnow. I know he's got the Coleman already. I wouldn't mind seeing him up the ground a little bit more, because what we've seen over the last few weeks with him in the forward line when he's come up the ground, his kicking ability inside forward 50 is pretty elite as well.
And the thing that turned the game around for the Giants was just getting that pressure up, putting some more tackles on, but actually holding on to the tackles and getting the free kick rewarded for them.
If you have just joined us, laid out for the Giants, no Sam Taylor this afternoon. The Giants must win to play finals. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. We start the second quarter. Dow was taken off the ball, the tackle by Cornelio, and Briggs was taken off the footy as well. Kelly at the back of the stoppage, next to the centre circle, handballs to Angwin. He had no space, ripped it down in a tackle. Chera picked up that loose ball. His handball found no one in particular, and Iden comes out for the Giants.
Looking for Bedford. And it made it to him on centre wing. Quickly gave the handball off. Now the Giants go running through Whitfield. Whitfield steps inside. Right foot looking for Hogan. Kicked 9 last week. He'll have a sider at his first here.
on there by the Giants. It looked like they were going forward, Carlton, and almost a shot on goal, but the tackling pressure turned the ball over, then beautiful kick outside, and then just using their running abilities through Whitfield and their hand-building ability, and Carlton's defence just zoning off and not giving any attention to the play there at the moment in Hogan.
37 goals, 17 this year. One of those Giants players is a very good set shot. Holds it like he's going to come in and kick it on his left foot and then changes to his right. Hogan with a stuttering approach, 40 out. Kick on the way. He got 9 last week. That's his first today. And the Giants closed within a point. 27 plays 26. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work.
Player that's been competing really well so far in this game for the Giants. Probably hasn't had a whole lot of stats to go with it, but Toby Bedford, every time the ball's gone near him, he's just competed hard. Some clean work at the ground level, and then on that occasion just working really hard to offer a release kick out on the far wing. Ended up taking the mark and then starting that chain for the ball going inside 50. Beautiful kick lowering the eyes though by Lockie Whitfield.
Let's just settle the Giants a little. Get the first goal of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think what they've got at the moment, I think they've got belief, the Giants. They've got belief. They knew they had a little bit in that first quarter, but that in the middle of the first quarter, they sort of lost their way. But certainly they've started this quarter up and about.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. That bounce probably should have been recalled and wasn't. Chera bends down and picks it up. Tackle. Umpires today, Nick Foote, Matt Stevick, Curtis Du Bois, and Andrew Stevens. This time it's thrown up. De Koning will give him the tap. Ricochets off a shin. Dow handballs to Cunningham, and Akers follows up from half-back. He's got it 70 out from goal. Looks for Mackay in the pocket. Kick was too tall for him. Out of bounds for a throw-in. 40 out from Carlton's goal.
Just to give viewers an understanding there, they're going to the right forward pocket as they're going towards the non-city end there. And both Kerner and Mackay leading to the same spot, and even Jack Martin as well for that instinct. So they've got to start to separate a little bit better.
And the listeners, Jono?
It's been taking that Channel 7 money, Brownie.
Whitfield, left foot towards centre wing, bouncing ball. Trying to pick it up here was De Koning, did a good job, got it out to Cunningham, fumbling the Blues. Chera, quick kick up and under ball inside forward 50. Briggs gets back, Big drops a mark, opportunity for the Blues. Fogarty steps one way, back the other. Right foot doesn't make a very good fist of it. And now another fumble from the Giants and the ball goes out of bounds. The Blues get another look at it. A lot of errors in that passage of play. The Blues lead by a point.
3 minutes into this second term. Pack of players around this ball. Shallow throw in to Mackay. Took it out of the ruck, then he fumbled. Whitfield to Iden. Callum Ward in season number 17. Wants to go around next year. He's still playing good footy. Kicks up to the wing. It's off the hands of Keefe.
It's been good Whitfield apart from one drop mark.
Tom. GWS Rock.
Choice hotels around the ground, Stu. What's happened earlier today?
Earlier today, we had the Demons defeating Sydney by 21 points and Port by 31 over the Tigers.
We'll go through those finals scenarios again shortly.
Play on!
Tom Green with his arms free. Got a kick. Callum Brown told to play on. Medallion Club wing here at Marvel Stadium. Fisher dives on it. Umpire still letting it go. Brown shimmies it free to Daniels. He lost possession. Down.
Dangerous tackle.
Was dumped after he got rid of it. You heard the umpires, as always, mic'd up exclusively for Triple M. So footy's coming back to the wing. Free kick to Paddy Down.
Back on.
He's right on centre wing. Chips the footy, and he's found Chera. Chera on the point of the square. Curnow points to where he wants it, and that's exactly where it goes. One-on-one. A big fly from the back by Mackay. Curnow wasn't involved. Akers did a great job. And then he tackled Ash and just held it up, and Ash really looked like he was going to get rid of it. The umpire's going to ball this one up.
For the listeners out there, the forward 50 is very crowded for Carlton. I don't know how they're going to get an avenue towards goal, Kate.
Free kick picked out of it. That's going to go to Briggs against Curnow. Carlton fans unhappy with that. But clearly, on the Harvey Norman replay, had the arm over the head. Harvey Norman's huge Coffee Expo ending Monday. Buy select the coffee machine and get 10% back in gift cards.
You got a coffee machine at home, Brad?
I do. I got it from Harvey Norman, actually.
Did you? It's a very worthwhile investment.
Like another one.
Yes, I like a new one, actually.
I need one too.
Yeah. We put in a bulk order. The Keith from half-back to half-forward. Leadering's got that finger put back into place and eases his opponent under the footy.
Play on.
Third in the competition for marks this season, averaging 8 a game.
Outside 5.
Been fantastic again for the Blues, who want to change direction. They go back inside defensive 50 for Nick Newman.
Outside 5.
He's an aggressive ball user, Newman.
And now they go back to where they started. They've got a little overlap and they've got McGovern, City side wing.
And Giants have got man-on-man all over the ground at the moment. They're lucky to have one behind the football.
McGovern, you're never really sure what he's going to do with the football, but this is a long and strong kick, and he finds Harry Mackay, 60 out. He'll reel around on the left foot, and he'll look for Curnow. It's exactly what he does now. Chips the ball into the pocket. The lead comes from Curnow, but it got over the back. Buckley at a best.
Stand, Charlie.
And took the mark. He got about his heart in his mouth when Curnow jumped, hoping the ball would come over the back, and it did.
Yeah, exactly right. Brownie was a long way from his opponent there, so he was lucky that, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he'd read it properly, but if that went to Curnow, he was nowhere near him to compete.
Whitfield, Perryman from half-back, chips the ball towards half-forward. Hogan couldn't mark it, it got out the back. The titanium one, Wiedering. Just a human caravan, trails in his opponent and does a great job for it. Kick will go to the Giants. Good tackle again. Laid by Lockie Keefe, the journeyman.
He's 75 out. Good kick into the leading lane. Fantastic kick, in fact.
George, another mate.
And Toby Green marks 50 out, almost directly in front to kick his second.
Yeah, it's just how they haven't used Green tonight. They haven't let him lead up at the footy and kick it out in front. They keep sitting it on his head, and he's got quite a difficult matchup when Wiedering floats across. I know he gets a run and jump sometimes, but when he's under the ball and Wiedering's behind, he's going to outmark him every time. So put it on the lead for him.
All Australian in 2016 and 2021. You'd think you'd have to be a lock for this year. One of the small forward positions. Kicking from right on 50. Never looked like missing. Toby's got 2. And the Giants lead by 5 points, 5-2-32 to 4-3-27. 8 minutes gone on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
The first time they've led, Ash?
Triple M Red Z, they led early stages into the first quarter, Brownie, about a 5-minute mark.
They kicked the point.
Correct.
It's not really a lead.
No, statistically it is, but just a concern for the Blues Red Z. GWS, their last 9 entries, they've nailed 4 goals, 1. Very, very efficient.
They look very good going forward. The Carlton defence are in a little bit of trouble at the moment with that fast ball movement. They're not really coping with it at all. Whereas we've seen Green just come up all by himself, unattended, took that uncontested mark, and Wiedering just looks a little ginger on one of his legs down there, hopping around a little bit. He couldn't go with Green. He just gave up straight away, so that's some concern for Carlton.
4 of the last 5 to the Giants. We're back in the middle for McDonald's Room Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
High, Carlton.
Robbo, Bob James Marks.
Yeah, Sard with that ankle problem, still off the ground, desperate to get back on, so he's passed the fitness test. And Toby Green will be all-Australian captain, mind you.
Walsh pumps it inside forward 50. The Giants at ground level. Himmelberg on the left. Snaps it around the corner, looking for Brown. Couldn't take it. Chincotta was there. Picking the ball up now is Chera. Chera the left foot back inside forward 50. And Himmelberg stood tall again.
Stand, Charlie.
Intercept mark. So 9.5 minutes gone in this second term. The Giants have got the only 2 goals. They lead by 5 points.
One of the major ball winners on the ground, Ash. Red Z lending.
Tom Green, 14 disposals. Whitfield with 12, and for the Blues, 13 to Akers, and 12 to Walsh, 11 to Chera.
50-50 ball on the wing. Daniels went flashing through. Canelio gathers. Kicks inside 50. Wiedering left his man. The kick wasn't to the advantage of Riccardi. Now Carlton have got a decision to make on defensive 50. Newman, as Bernie said, is normally pretty aggressive by foot. Ran a little bit too far and had to hoist it up to the wing. Fogarty stayed down, as did Hollins. Tackle was laid. Green against the boundary line to Perryman. Kept it in on the bounce. Nice pick up by Callum Brown. Outer side wing. Daniels next link in the chain. He's 75 out. Arches the back. Good kick inboard. Canelio can turn and go. Crosses 50. Gets to 40 and goals.
All clear.
Game number 200 tonight for Steve Canelio. Big moment for him and a big moment for the Giants as they extend their lead. They're 6-2-38. Carlton 4-3-27. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
And Jono, it's what you said earlier in the first quarter. The ball is still in contest and Carlton are just running forward. They're running into attacking positions and you can't do that when the ball is still in a contest. Obviously, there's the three phases of play. You've got it, it's in contest, or the other team has got it, and they're acting like they've won the footy before they have won it at the moment, and it's just leaving their defenders high and dry. So much space through the midfield for them to run, and that was Cornelio taking all of that space there and a beautiful finish.
Out of interest, Mark's inside forward 50, because to me at the moment it looks like the Giants are starting to sort of edge their way forward in that part.
Yeah, GWS have taken 6 marks inside their attacking 50 already. The Blues just a 3.
Robbo, Bob Jones, team Arts.
Yeah, GWS are on, and also Sard. He's on the ground with that left ankle. That's a good sign for the Baggers.
Callan Ward at centre half back. Pierces the ball into the middle and he finds Daniels. Daniels wanted to go. He doesn't. Has to go back over the mark and he's got a player on. He's got a player on and that's Toby Green. What a player to have in space, and Toby 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Not being accountable, Brownie and Jack and Kate. It's simple as that. It's not being accountable at all. All the Carlton defenders are giving so much leeway to this forward line. Man, even you could kick a goal down there today.
What's that?
Very aggressive, assertive they are as defenders, the Blues. On this occasion, they were found out. This for a 17-point lead. 4 goals in a row to the Giants. Toby Green lining up for his third. Kick on the way. It's bending back. It's there for the Giants. 4 in a row. 6 of the last 7. And it's a 17-point lead.
Putting pressure on the footy, drawing the leads out with some nice kicks inside their forward 50 and just really nice ball movement. They're looking up and they've got so much space and they're assessing the situation. So there was about 3 or 4 players then all through the corridor that were free for the Giants. And then the one man that you leave free inside forward 50 was Toby Green. Probably not the one I'd be leaving free, even though it was deep in the pocket. But he is clinical and he will make you pay, Jono.
He's not the only one. There's players everywhere free at the moment. This brand of footy, Brownie, is not finals football for Carlton. No. They get in the final. Well, they're going to play finals, we know that. But if they go in with this brand, they'll be out in straight sets.
They're a lucky bounce away from having another one. It went straight to Wiedering. There was 3 Giants players loose a couple of minutes ago. So they are rolling the dice at the moment, the Blues, and they're coming up empty.
And it's a Shepherd against Harry Mackay as well. We'll get to you in a moment, Stu. Red Z lending. Briggs loads up, long searching ball. Riccardi couldn't access the footy, neither could Hogan. Crashing through was Brown. The Irishman snaps. And wasn't that far away. Red Z lending.
GWS 6 entries this quarter, but they've kicked 4 goals, 1. The uncontested marks in the forward half of the ground, 14-6, the Giants' way.
Sard in the back pocket. Gives it his all towards centre wing. Fisted away by Cumming. Went back 20 metres, Lloyd. Got the handball out, and that went to McMullen. Toby McMullen.
High coming from wing.
I think they've lost all structure, Carlton. They haven't lost effort. I won't say they've lost effort. Their effort's pretty good, and their attack on the football is pretty good. But it's around their structure, around the middle of the ground, and certainly in their defensive half.
Briggs and Mackay to do the ruck work. Half forward for the Giants. Give that one to Briggs because it went 20 metres in the Giants' direction. Akers was the first one to get back there. His handball. Looking for Fisher. Fisher got it off to Newman. Cunningham had a bit of a fumble but had enough time to get it back to Akers. That's a high ball to centre wing. Going back with courage. Well done by Paddy Dow. Kept his eyes on it. Now he's got the run on the outside in Walsh. Walsh has got another runner too. Left foot by Newman and he finds Owies. Owies 55 out. He's going to go for home or he's going to go for Charlie. He's going to go for Charlie in the pocket. Getting back was Martin. Top of the square was Cottrell. He's already kicked one. Can he get a second? He can't get his leg to it. Got it out to Martin. No. Martin over the top. And the Blues get one back. Badly needed for the Blues. And it claws them back to 12 points, 5-3-33. The Giants are 7-3-45.
Well, he needed that, Martin, because he'd only had one touch up until then, so that would have been his second touch, correct me if I'm wrong, too, but It was certainly a better brand of football moving out of the half-back. Yes, they were under pressure here. They thought their way through it. They got it through. But, geez, Paddy Dale going back with the flight of the ball. That was courage all over. And then he had to run from behind. And nothing really, good about it all. Hard about it. It was all just consistent, fundamental football. Get it to the hot spot, create a contest, get it to the ground, outnumber, and get a shot on goal. And that's what it was for Carlton.
Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Choice Hotels, it's Germany 36, Boomers 31, Brownie.
Boomers were 11-3 down at one stage. Hit back hard for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Was tapped down and Chera has a bit of space through the middle of Marvel Stadium. Left foot ball out to half forward. It bounces ahead of Durden. He gave it up by hand, straight in the waiting arms of Daniel Lloyd, playing his last season. Now Iden kicks to a one-on-one. McMullen and Sard. And the experience of Adam Sard wins out. And he takes the mark at halfback. Brings it inboard to Fisher.
Play on.
And he goes back inside defensive 50. Giants by 12 points. 9 minutes before half-time. Triple M. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Brody Kemp. Darts the ball looking for Curnow. Fisting the ball away was Buckley. It went 30 metres back. Went back far. It went back to Kemp, who got it over the boundary line. Lovely young man Kemp is. Came into the Sunday footy show. Had nice manners.
Manners are free.
Kieran, hurry. Guys, about here.
Mum always told me manners goes a long way, Christopher. Good thing to have manners.
Certainly is, Christopher. Boundary throw in. Briggs and Mackay. Nobody touched that one. Chera knocked it forward. Trying to get back there was Mackay. Did a really good job, and he's on the run. Then he tried to run through Himmelberg, and Himmelberg got him. Now the Giants get the footy back, and it'll be a free kick going to the Giants. Good tackle by Himmelberg on Harry Mackay. He was charging through. A free kick.
Had a player to give an easy handball to as well on his left-hand side and decided to tuck it under the arm and go for it. You can't do that. You need to give it. Bring your teammates into it. He'd done a great job up until then and then just brought it all undone by being a little bit selfish.
Josh Kelly from the wing. Kicks to a heavily populated 50. Big fly at the back from Toby Green. Tap towards the boundary line. Daniels squares it up. Chincotta kept his feet. Off to Callum Brown. Slipped over.
Keep going.
7-3 plays 5-3.
Stay out there. Stay out there.
12-point lead to the Giants in this must-win game, the final one of the home and away season. Chincotta to the Dayan Club wing. Off hands for Mackay. Is told to play on. He's wrapped up by Kelly and Whitfield. Umpire calls for it.
You up?
They need to get Jack Martin into the game somehow. He's a real live wire up forward if he can get the ball in his hands.
Briggs got the ruck work. Working through was Whitfield. He was tackled as soon as he got it by Durden, coming up from half forward, doing some defensive work. Have a ball up 40 metres out from the Giants' goal. They lead by 12.
Good, careful tackle from Durden there. Just took him to ground nicely. That's what they've been liking to see, the umpires.
Daniels has been busy. Handball out towards Whitfield. Chips the ball, looking for McMullen. He couldn't take it. Sard took it off him. Now Hewitt. Hewitt towards centre wing. Mackay will get a free kick. Himmelberg engaged him a little bit too early. And the Blues supporters feel like that's overdue.
McMullen really should have just conceded there, let the ball go out, set up, get a forward 50 stoppage, tried to keep it in. It was 3-on-1 in Carlton's favour. Now they're heading down into their forward 50.
That's the voice of Kate McCarthy. You can hear on Triple M footy alongside Chris Johnson. Seabus Super special comments. Fogarty, a shallow entry. Martin fell over. Daniel Lloyd trying to pick it up off his ankles. 60 out from the goal he's defending. He lost possession. Now Walsh, long sweeping handball to Hewitt. Pops a little pass over the top. Waits it nicely for Owies, who marks down low. 45 out directly in front.
Yeah, well done, Owies. He was involved in that forward 50 just beforehand, and then he's seen the ball that was going to get turned over, bounced up straight away and just sort of done a lateral lead and just kept in the vision of his teammate, and just a beautiful kick by Hewitt.
Kicked a goal in the first quarter. Made sure that every single person at Marvel Stadium saw it. And this for his second. And for the Blues, importantly, to make it 2 in a row. He's off. He's celebrating. He says, "Get around me." No one actually came to him, though. So he just hugged himself. 6 points the difference. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, I'd be scared he was going to run into me because I've seen him take off like Papley at times, and I'd be keeping my distance from him when he celebrates because he gets real into it. So probably not too silly from the Carlton Blues not to go straight around him, but really good lead from him. It was a good kick too, good kick into space, which drew the lead, but you see defenders often react quicker than forwards at times, forwards thinking they need to lead out to space and get away from their defenders, but he was just smarter than his defender then, saw where the ball was going and read it better.
So back-to-back goals for the Blues, breaks a run of 4 for the Giants at the start of this quarter. Got out to 17 points, and now it is at 6. For McDonald's Rim Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, bounce in the middle. Briggs to Koning. De Koning got up high. Briggs just stood there, used his body work, then pumped it inside forward 50. Sitting underneath that is McGovern. Takes a comfortable mark on his chest.
Play on.
So McGovern splits one wide, looks for Kemp. The nice-mannered one. So Kemp at half-back. Wants to step around Riccardi. Did so successfully. And chips the ball towards half-forward. Buckley out, points Curnow. And takes a nice mark. Intercept for Buckley, number what?
Triple M Red Z. Intercept mark number 2, Brownie.
You, mate.
Here goes the low ball, and Newman picks it off and rolls around and takes a nice mark.
Hasn't had the impact that he's normally had, Newman. His kicking ability can cut up a team, and he hasn't been able to do that much tonight. They've held him quite well.
30 disposals in their last 3 wins, Nick Newman. He's finishing the year very strongly. In the right form at the right time of the year. Iden lost it at half-back. Hollands bends down, picks it up, snaps a left foot ball. It's dangerous. Very dangerous, in fact. Cottrell playing in front marks. Initially thought he wanted to give it off, but now has been told to go back and handle his business, and this to level it up at 45.
The reason he hasn't been able to cut them up too much, Nick Newman, is because the Giants are just covering the corridor. They're making sure they can't get back in that way. So the Blues are just going the long way around, but they're chaining it up, getting mark after mark and then hitting leads in the forward line, so they don't mind if they have to go that way.
For 3 in a row for the Blues. Cottrell tugs this one to the left. It's a 5-point game. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, 6-4. Play 7-3. We've got 5 minutes before the main break.
Himmelberg do the kicking in.
Play on.
So he plays on, gets himself about 10 metres and pumps it long. Looking for Riccardi, fisted away by the Blues defenders. Sard, and it's out of bounds.
If he takes that out in front, he probably takes the mark, but because he tried to get it on his chest, Sard got a fist in. So got to have hands out in front when you're leading forward.
So the Blues got an extra number on the defensive side. The Giants as well. And who wins out? Bedford for the Giants. Chips the ball towards half forward. Good mark by Riccardi. Just falling over was Kemp, but a push out was paid, a late one by the umpire. He had a long think about that and decided. He completely made a mess of that, the umpire. It was a late call. Riccardi thought he had the footy, then he threw it back, then the umpire said stand. He didn't hear him. The umpire would put that down as an Amy Clanger.
Very vocal, that umpire.
You can't give 50 metres away for that.
Handball on for Fisher. Trying to kick on his right foot. Up and under ball. It'll pitch about 30 out from the Blues goal. Almost a mark for Cunningham. Iden, slick hands to Green. Even slicker to Whitfield, who goes underground. Tough one for Bedford. Whitfield follows up and hits it towards defensive 50. Fisher works it back to Newman. Sets it up to the hot spot. Big pack forms. All Carlton waiting down at ground level. Cunningham to Hollands. Little left foot dribbler. Yes, please. This young man is some sort of talent. Ollie Hollands with a great finish from the pocket. Blues back in front by a point. 7-4, play 7-3. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, when they look most dangerous, Carlton, is when they get an unorthodox forward entry. It's when they try and enter it in a good manner. It doesn't work for them. But once they get it in there and a bit kamikaze-like, the defenders of the Giants don't know what to do. But geez, That was a super goal. Didn't have a lot of time to think about it. Had 1 or 2 steps and then just seen that the goal line was vacant and just dribbled it along the ground. It looks like we're going upstairs, are we? Is there a review?
I think we are. There is a review.
Harvey Norman replay.
I don't think they sent it to review, but we know they're reviewing every decision now. So
there's a bit of a
looks like there's an edge. Yeah. And so this will be overturned and will be a kick in.
Oh,
okay. Yep.
Score review, so the umpire's now calling a score review and it's been called a behind. Well, that's disappointing for the Blues.
The score hasn't come up on the scoreboard.
Disappointing for you.
I believe it's going to be behind here, so Steve, we need to annul the score.
Just get confirmation, please. Yeah, just confirm it. Yep.
So the umpire's just discussing, and it is going to be definitely a behind, so the Giants will lead by 4 points. The Carlton fans just realising what's going on. They can't believe it. Everybody's got out their footy record and then crossed out the goal they put in. Still a good highlight for Hollands, though. Yeah, we'll take that.
I wonder how many times in the season that's happened and we haven't reviewed it and no one's thought it's hit the post and then we've gone to edge and it has.
So Himmelberg to do the kicking in. Plays on again. Thumps it as long as he can. The target's Briggs. Couldn't mark it. Jesse Hogan went to ground. Akers smothered. Ball went out of bounds. The boundary umpire was right there, didn't call it. Allowed the Giants to soccer it forward towards half forward. McGovern picked it up. Toby Green tackled him to the ground. That could be a dangerous tackle as it is.
Yeah, agree with you, Jack. Agree. That's a well executed tackle. There was no malice in the spin or the turn. I think they're umpiring it to the action now rather than the impact that happens on the ground.
Harvey Norman replay.
Jacob!
He actually tried to look after it.
Yeah.
There's momentum that's going to happen. He's rolled him as it's gone. Oh, now it's on report. Yeah, I don't think he'll have any problem with that.
Toby Green's got a little nick above the eye, I think. He's heading towards Robbo. Just wonder whether, if that was one of the other 22 players out there, whether they pay that free kick.
Yeah, you've got to question it. Yeah, you've got to question it. But I'm with Kate. I reckon he tried to look after him. He had a fair bit of momentum and he actually slowed it down.
The Blues ball, left half back.
Well,
still 3.5 minutes before half time. McGovern sends it to the wing. De Koning in from the side. Not able to mark. Tom Green shoots a handball to Briggs. Got it back again. Now Callum Ward, Medallion Club wing at Marble Stadium. Time for a bounce. And then had to be quick. Sard got him. Kelly. Cornelio against the boundary line. 2 tacklers came charging at him. Sard and Akers. Umpire calls for it.
Did that well there. Cornelio knew he wouldn't get out of it and just drew the contact and kept the ball nice and safe to get the stoppage.
De Koning took it out of the ruck and handed it back to Fisher. Left foot going back with courage was Ash. Put his hand into it and it goes out of bounds.
It certainly was, Brownie. They're the situations as a footballer you don't want to be in, but he just had to put the bit between his teeth and just take it and then just go back. Beautiful contested ball that.
Robbo, Bob Jane T. Marts.
Love Toby Green. He's just getting patched up. Right eye, nice nick. He just shook his head. Let's get on with it. Tough bloke.
He's got about 4 staff around him down there. Kelly, handball to Tom Green. Green tackled. Well done. Fogarty picked it up. Left foot inside forward 50. Martin couldn't mark it. Handball came out. Cottrell's been busy. So too Dow. Dow went to ground. Then got tackled by Callan Ward, and the umpire will ball it up.
Brownie,
I reckon, good game of footy.
Yeah, boys, I reckon Kate and I just seen on the Harvey Norman replay, Jacob Wiedering may be in a bit of trouble. An eye gouge to Toby Green.
That's what split him open there.
That's what split him open. So on the slow replay, it looked very, very dangerous.
At first glance, something to worry about?
Yeah, I think so. He made direct contact with his face and his hands went very close to his eye. So he wasn't cut until that point. So interesting replay that came up. I'm sure we'll see it again.
We've got the best part of a week to scrutinise that.
Ooh. The eye gouge.
A throw in at half forward. Akers shrugs that Bedford tackle. Dow had it ricochet off his hands. Akers had his handball smothered. Good follow-up by Walsh. Now Hewitt. Shimmies one to Fogarty. 65 out from goal. Didn't panic. Looks for the lateral pass to De Koning, who was all on his own. 50 out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, super composure there. Super composure just to soak up. Everyone thought he was going to go around on his right, but he turned around. He came the opposite way and had his teammate out there just waiting for it.
Signed on until the end of 2025, Tom De Koning.
Play on.
Doesn't kick a lot of goals. Has absolutely thumped this one. Now Carlton are back in front. A minute 48 before half-time. 7-3 are the Giants. 7-5 are the Blues. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, they're owning the territory at the moment. That's 7 of the last 8 inside 50s. And the reason Tom De Koning was so free is because they've been so focused early in this match on getting the ball deep to the square to either Mackay or Curnow. And the kicker just looked up, saw that everyone had flooded back. Giants defending that, the top of the goal square, and De Koning just floated in and no one had taken care of him.
The Blues have also ramped up their pressure as well inside the last 10 minutes, cranking it 220.
It's the voice of Ash Chua, Triple M, Red Z Lending. So 4 to start the quarter for the Giants, 3 to answer for the Blues. The Blues lead by 2 points, a minute 44 to go. Josh Kelly gave the handball out to Cornelio. Around the corner looking for Bedford. Bedford couldn't mark it, but it landed in the hands of Ward, who thumps it inside forward 50. Brown at the back. He was going to be the flyer, elected to stay down. And now the ball comes out, and an errant kick goes straight back to the Giants and coming.
Behind your mark. No, he's forward of the mark.
So coming from 50.
Come out 10 metres.
Well, his teammate Cottrell was in better position there, and the kick just went way too corridor and went straight back to Cumming. Cumming probably couldn't believe his luck because he was on the wrong side of his opponent and ended up with a mark inside forward 50.
Well, Fisher didn't need to kick it. He could have just ran and carried it another 15 metres and put it out to centre wing, but he thought he was under a lot of pressure, so lack of communication down there by the Carlton backs.
Doesn't get up this end of the ground too often. 71 games and 4 goals. Cumming. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's a huge roost. And the Giants get one just before half-time.
You good, Steve? Yeah.
And they're back in front. And they're back in the 8. 51 plays 47.
20 Giant supporters here are going wild after that goal. It's so obvious when something doesn't go Carlton's way because the entire stadium just goes completely silent. That was a huge roost, though, from Cumming. And you're right, just looking at the Harvey Norman replay, Jono, he absolutely did not need to kick that. There was no one anywhere near him, but that's not on him. That's on his teammates to tell him to take time, have a bounce, look up. That's on the player in front of him that could see there was no one near him. So more voice, more direction needs to come there.
And the only one that was chosen was Jesse Hogan, so I'm pretty sure that Zach Fisher has got him covered in a sprint.
Try and get another look at this Jacob Wiedering incident. Perhaps at half-time for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. 45 seconds before half-time. Little kick from Walsh out of the middle. Didn't travel too far. He follows up, second effort. Callum Ward puts his head down and wins the footy. Now Daniels through the middle. Giants have snuck forward. Cornelio's already kicked one on the run. Forey's second just misses to the left.
Lockie!
Extend the lead by 1. 5 points. 25 seconds remaining.
Well, it seems what's been happening here is in the contested scenario, Carlton are just coughing the ball up in the middle of the ground far too easy. They're trying to create something that's probably not there. They probably just need to hold that ball in and just create another centre bounce or another stoppage.
Mitch McGovern long. Akers picked the football up and got it to Dow. Dow off the instep, centres the ball. It's a dangerous one. Down to 12 seconds. Can anybody win this one on centre wing? No, they can't. It's going to be a ball up. And time will tick down.
Stay here, footy. Yeah.
So the Giants should go into half-time with a 5-point lead. 8-4-52. The Blues are 7-5, 47. Potential issue with Jacob Wiedering with an eye gouge. Waiting to see another replay of that, but an entertaining first half ends up with the Giants leading by 5 points for McDonald's Ream Hotwater. Triple M, Rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M Rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Absolute classic, says Alexander.
Featuring
Marty Sheargold.
Couldn't be steamier than my undies over the weekend.
It's a show for grown-ups.
Do you have a tiny digger?
A show that can get a little bit fruity.
But a lot of the stuff that comes out of my ass.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. 6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
All right, let's keep moving.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year spring spend and save is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right. Spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles spend and save event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
Kobe is a cheeky 9-year-old that loves bikes and fast cars. He has acute flaccid myelitis, which has meant long hospital stays away from his family. But Kobe and his family had time together thanks to his wish to live like his favourite YouTubers.
Kobe's wish came true when he stayed in a mansion, played laser tag and rode in a limo.
Helping sick kids find hope is something we all have the power to do.
Find out how at makeawish.org.au.
Make a wish.
You can dream big with the life-changing $4.9 million grand prize in the Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery. The spectacular Matzo home has it all, fully furnished and expertly styled. It could all be yours. Live mortgage-free in queue or sell it and set yourself up. That's not all. There's millions in prizes to win, including luxury cars and getaways. Support the RMH and get your tickets now at rmhhomelottery.com.au. Permit 10191/23.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we've got great deals for every budget. Up to $200 instant cashback on selected Bridgestone, Dunlop, Michelin and Pirelli tyres. 16 and 17-inch 4x4 steel wheel and tyre packages from $9.99. That's 4 wheels and 4 tyres under $1,000. We won't be beaten with our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Greater Super is made easier with UniSuper, now awarded CanStar's most satisfied customers for 2023. With a top-rated app and convenient locations around Australia, UniSuper makes managing your super simply easier anywhere you go. All Australians can join in just minutes at unisuper.com.au. Look forward. Think great with UniSuper. Consider UniSuper's PDS and TMD on its website before making decisions.
What is it about our firsts? First car? First kiss? First time? First accounting software? Let's be honest, your first is never your best. At QuickBooks, we got you. Snap your receipts as you go, so you're always ready for tax time. And you'll never be lost with our award-winning customer support. Don't stay stuck on your first. Search for QuickBooks and make the switch today.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
Great game of footy so far at Marvel Stadium. The last one of the 2023 home and away season. And the Giants in a must-win game lead by 5 points. 8-4-52 to Carlton. 7-5-47 the halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day. We'll get to Robbo shortly. We'll get all of the numbers from Chew very shortly as well. But Kate McCarthy, Chris Johnson. The big story right now is an incident just before halftime. Toby Green lays a tackle that was adjudicated to be a version of a sling tackle. Probably nothing to worry about there for Toby, but it's what happened after that with Jacob Wiedering.
Yeah, we were just keeping an eye on the replays, trying to look for a replay of the tackle, Jono and I, and then what happened after the tackle was Wiedering came in to remonstrate for McGovern, who was taken in the tackle, and just paid a lot of attention to Toby Green's eye. Obviously went off with the blood rule, but it looked a lot like an eye gouge or hands around the face and eye region. There's a replay coming up now of the tackle. So he goes over, goes to pull him off, and then the hand just sort of makes its way on and around the eye and sort of pulls down. So after that, he did have to go off with the blood rule, but I think it was across the other brow, so that might save him a little bit. But There was no need to make contact with the face or the eye.
But the league do not like anyone going near the face with a hand at all. And we've seen players doing it in the past, and really the league or the tribunal has come down very hard on them. So that's just a brain fade there by Jacob.
And very out of character too for Jacob Wiedering. So that's one big story. The other is coming out of Melbourne's game against Sydney this afternoon, Kate, and not a good story, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Simon Goodwin in his post-match press conference said, just on Jake Melksham, we fear the worst but hope for the best. It's looking like an ACL for Melky, so that would be huge news and really shattering news for Jake Melksham on the eve of the finals campaign. And the other one actually for Casey, so obviously their VFL team, Luke Dunstan also looks likely to have torn his ACL for Casey in the VFL. So bad day for injuries for the Melbourne Football Club.
And just while we're working through a couple of news stories at head office, a nice appointment this afternoon.
Yeah, so Laura Kane has won the role as the AFL leading football officer after securing the permanent position as the Executive General Manager of Football. So big call. Obviously, lots of calls for that appointment to be made heading into finals, with a lot of the controversy surrounding the score review and tribunal and everything like that. So, yeah, huge appointment, Jono.
Yeah, Laura's been around footy for a long time. She's been a part of the North Melbourne Football Club for a long, long time under a number of coaches, obviously under Brad Scott. And then when Brad came across to the AFL, brought Laura across as well. And obviously, Brad has moved on, and now Laura's got the job. I'm only talking from my opinion, very, very capable of this position.
Well done to Laura, and just another one of those AFL appointments where they conduct a worldwide search and appoint someone in the same building. Wonder why we bother sometimes, but it's great for Laura. She absolutely deserves the opportunity. It's a halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day. Giants by 5 points at halftime.
Yeah, and they've played well, the Giants, both teams. It's a fantastic contest. At times the Giants have looked well on top, and at times Carlton have looked well on top, but I think we've said during the call, Carlton just getting a little bit too offensive at times and not worrying about their defensive effort first. They've been outspread as well through the midfield. The Giants midfield is waiting at the contest to wait to see who wins it, whereas Carlton taking off early, trying to get the ascendancy forward, but they haven't actually won the ball yet, so Giants then able to go away from the contest.
Spot on, Kate. And I reckon now, this big long break, Michael Voss, his coaching staff, they'll have a fair bit of vision there behind the goals, or whether it's side-on vision, just to show their defence and probably their midfield on what they're actually doing. And I would imagine that it's all going to come back this quarter. I think what Carlton need to realise is, yes, when they have the ball in their hands, they're going to be able to do it well. But I think their first priority is to actually defend when they haven't got the ball, rather than second-guess themselves and think, oh, yeah, we can get a fast break here, we can get a fast break there. I think they need to come back a little bit and just worry about defending the football. Once they win the football, that's when they turn it on and spread.
Two-man Red Z Lending, some of the major numbers from that first half.
Positives for Carlton, they're winning the territory battle. The entries are 33-26, but the concern for the Blues is their defence. Past 9 matches, only conceding 64 points per game. They've already conceded 52.5, and 39 out of the 52 points for the Giants have come from Carlton turnovers. Just some leading ball winners. Tom Green, he's the number 1 ranked player. 20 disposals, 9 contested ball, the most on the ground. Whitfield busy with 15. Cornelio, 14 disposals and a major. Toby Green, 7 disposals and 3 goals. And for the Blues, Akers, 18. Walsh, 17. Cherrod, 12. Charlie Curnow, 6 disposals, 2 goals, has won the Coleman medal, as we know, with 77 majors, but only the 1 touch in that second term. And Jack Martin, as Jono spoke about, quiet, 1 disposal, but he did kick that major in that second quarter.
And I reckon those two there, I reckon what they need to do is they've got to come up the ground, because the last, say, 4 or 5 weeks that I've watched Carlton, those two haven't been so much always. I reckon they're spending at least, two-man, you might be able to tell us, I reckon they're spending at least 80% of their time inside their forward 50. If they can come up the ground a little bit and get lost and lose their defenders a little bit, they're both two important players of that football team. They need to get them in the game.
It's about this time that we start to get a little bit nervous in the
I'm
Triple
not getting nervous,
box.
I know what's coming.
Jono in particular, who covers clangers on and off the field? Amy does.
Score review. Umpire's calls are behind. Please check to see if it's touched.
Dylan Buckley right on the line, or Jack Buckley, I should say. Dylan Buckley, great podcast.
No. Multitasking.
Yeah, both players play for the Giants. Dylan and Jack, I don't think they're related.
You'll be happy with the plug, I reckon, Dylan.
Absolutely.
Anything for a free plug. How relieved are you right now?
Oh, really relieved. Because it was so early on, I've forgotten all about it.
When you said for the viewers out there, not the listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Jono was starting to sweat bullets. And then as soon as he heard Brownie's voice, he thought, beautiful, I'm off the hook.
Well, Brownie, my first couple of weeks here at Triple M, I made it consistent. It was a consistent thing I was in. It was the clangers.
5-point lead to the Giants at halftime. 8-4 plays 7-5. The halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. A Mitre 10 gift card is the perfect gift this Father's Day.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
At Triple M, every song we play is Rock's greatest hits certified.
Money for nothing and your chicks for free.
And they've all been approved by you.
Chisel, Pearl Jam, all that early music that I'm trying to teach my kids about. They all love the 80s and 90s rock.
Songs you grew up with that you still love today. 105.1 Triple M. Good times and Rock's greatest hits.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles.
Frank, you've been advertising on radio for over 25 years now.
Yep, radio has built the National Tiles brand.
Why has it been so effective?
Well, radio builds trust. They trust our brand. It's helped make us the largest family-owned tile company in Australia. Lifetime guarantee.
Frank, you had me at hello.
That's the power of radio, Grace.
Discover the unlimited ways radio can build trust in your brand at commercialradio.com.au. Radio. Unlimited.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
Ready? Let's push it. With up to 5.5% interest. Available on an ING savings account. For eligible customers. Your hard-earned cash can work even harder. For you. Make bank on your moolah with an ING savings account. Now, let's give your savings a run for its money. Come on, do it.
Rate includes additional variable rate of 4.95% on eligible balances up to 100k. General advice only. CT&Cs at ing.com.au. ING ABN 24000893 AFSL 229823.
Here's to the ute drivers of today. Get more with every GWM ute across the Canon ute range. More technology, more style and more versatility starting from $33,990 drive away for ABN buyers. GWM ute, made for more.
Looking for an affordable quality used car in Melbourne? Mannheim's physical auctions are back. Bid and buy in person every Wednesday at Altona from 10 a.m. So come on down to Mannheim Auctions and check out the large range of used vehicles on offer every week. With ex-government, business, fleet vehicles and more in our weekly auctions, you'll be sure to find a quality used car that suits your budget. View the full range at mannheim.com.au. LMCT 8588.
Painting a room for less than $150 is easy as with Easy Coat from Taubmans. Get 4 litres of all walls paint, 2 litres of ceiling paint, 1 litre of doors and trims paint for less than $150. Visit your local Bunnings today. Easy Coat, easy as.
Kobe is a cheeky 9-year-old that loves bikes and fast cars. He has acute flaccid myelitis, which has meant long hospital stays away from his family. But Kobe and his family had time together thanks to his wish to live like his favourite YouTubers.
Kobe's wish came true when he stayed in a mansion, played laser tag and rode in a limo.
Helping sick kids find hope is something we all have the power to do.
Find out how at makeawish.org.au.
Make a wish. Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Half-time at Marvel Stadium, it is the Giants, 8-4-52, who lead Carlton 7-5-47 for the Blues. A couple of goals to Charlie Curnow. And for the Giants, Toby Green has 3 goals. Chris Johnson, Kate McCarthy, Nathan Brown, Mickey Roberts and Ash Chewy, his Sunday call team for the last game of the home and away season. Choice hotels around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you get the lowest price guarantee when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. The Boomers and Germany doing battle at the World Cup right now. And the Boomers trailing by 1, 54-53, as Josh Giddey has that 3 rim out with 6 minutes before three-quarter time. What have we made of the round? It's been a funny one. There's been some teams who didn't need to win, like North Melbourne, who did win. There's some teams like the Bombers who just didn't even turn up in the last round. It's been a weird old round 24.
Yeah, it's been strange, and I think it's always hard for the teams, I think, that they know that their season's all done and some other plans are planning ahead for the next week or so. But certainly the one team that I was very impressed with, which we done, Kate, on Saturday afternoon, was North Melbourne. Their younger brigade were fantastic. The way they got about, the way they actually used the ball, the way they actually took it back up to the Suns. The Suns really came out hard, but they're one team that really took me by surprise. Hadn't watched them a lot this year, but they've got a big future ahead of them, that football club. They've got a few players in there that are going to be, 200, maybe 250 game players. Eddie Ford, Will Phillips, just to name a couple. There was a few there.
And obviously the story of that game was the big Suva kicking 9. Huge game for him. And I just really liked what Alistair Clarkson said after the game when he was questioned about whether they win, whether they play for the number 1 draft pick, and just that for him, the momentum now that they take into next season, having a good win under their belt. And, I mean, they're a team that were going for 21 straight losses in that season. So you can't tell me that any club is going to front up and try and lose their 21st game in a row. So really good performance by them. And, yeah, their young stars were fantastic.
Well, super. And then you look at which you spoke about, Jack, was the Essendon-Collingwood game on Friday night. It was a big crowd there. They all came out to see Walla send him off. So all the Essendon supporters come across there. So that was really good. But they just didn't. That's 2 weeks in a row that they didn't show up. And Brad Scott, very, very clear about his message to his players around this off-season period, what they need to do to come back in shape. And if you don't come back in shape, you're going to be in a little bit of strife in your position.
And the one thing coming out of that game, which, I don't know, people in the box might disagree with, but the criticism of giving Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody a chair off and a guard of honour, people having a problem with that.
Okay.
I just don't think that there's any need to have a problem with that. I mean, people contribute to the game in many different ways. You can play 200 games, you can be an All-Australian, all of those things. But I don't think people quite understand the work that Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody has done for young, either Indigenous or Tiwi Island players back there, to see him out there playing. And I think he deserves all the accolades that he gets, and there's nothing wrong for mine for valuing the contribution of the game that someone gives, whether that's on the field or off the field.
Yeah, you're spot on, Kate. And I think the joy that he's brought Essendon supporters in that really, if you look at that real tough period, he was their shining light. And at his best, when he was fit, he was certainly one of the best small forwards going around in the competition. Certainly one of the best chase-down tacklers, that's for sure. Just ask Dustin Martin about that.
Nice that he got a farewell game, I think, as well, which is great. Third quarter coming up for Titanium Caravans. Want to go anywhere? You'll need Australia's toughest off-road caravan. Titanium Caravans are purpose-built to tackle Australia's uncompromising conditions. They have everything you need to stay off-grid and off-road. So look no further than a Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au. The Blues are back out there, the Giants are back out there, and Robbo's back there downstairs as well.
And when the Giants came out, no sign of Toby Green. I'm thinking, oh, goodness, he's copped that whack across the head. And they've changed the bandage on that too. They've made it a small, so they cleaned it up and whatever. But I tell you what, when he was off the ground, Carlton were all over it. And then when he came back on twice, he's lifted his side. He is a sensational star of this competition and a worthy captain. And if he's not All-Australian captain, I reckon, from the Bont, I reckon he'll go pretty close. So I've never seen a bloke lift a side like the Giants as Toby Green does.
Toby Green for All-Australian captain, yes?
Oh, yeah. I think he'd certainly be in the conversation. But normally they give it to somebody that has been, there almost every year and has done a little bit more in the game compared to what Toby has.
The Bont will probably get it.
Yeah, for sure. That's my choice, Brownie. That would have been my pick.
But if they gave it to Toby Green, I wouldn't have a problem with that either. I'd say absolutely both deserve to have it.
GWS goal square not set.
All right, we're about to start the third quarter. The Giants lead by 5 points, 8-4-52. The Blues are 7-5-47. As we get set, can we see any positional changes at all, Jono or Kate?
Not really at the moment. Forward line sort of set up exactly the same for Carlton. Midfield a little bit the same with the forward line for the Giants. So no coach really doing any positional change for this second half.
As the umpire gets it underway for McDonald's Rim Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Kelly was spun around in the tackle. He dropped it, not sure how he got rid of it. Tom Green did though. His handball was okay to Lloyd. Lloyd's handball was intercepted by Walsh, who tracked the football back and got it to Newman, who lost his shorts. Akers, inside forward 50. Curnow out of position. Buckley went back and tapped the football. Connor Iden was there. And Himmelberg goes wide, hugs the boundary line. And almost taking a mark out there was Bedford, but it goes out over the boundary line out of bounds. A bit of a push and shove out there between the heavyweights, Bedford and also Fisher.
Player that's done a good job in this game for the Giants has been Buckley. I know Curnow kicked 2 goals early, but he's really held him to not a whole lot apart from that. Having a good game on him.
Kate McCarthy, Chris Johnson, all of your Triple M C-Bar Super Special comments covered. As Tom Green cuts back inside. Nice kick on the lead to Hogan. Next to the centre circle. This is what the Giants have done so well today. They stream forward en masse. Whitfield has it.
Move it on. Play on.
65 out from goal. Gives a handball to Himmelberg, who's driving by. Punches it low to the goal square. That's off the hands of Lockie Keefe, and Mitch McGovern can walk it over for a rush behind.
Right out.
It's their forward entries, Jack. The Giants' forward entries have looked a lot more dangerous than what Carlton's forward entries are. Carlton's forward entry, we've seen one literally in the first 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5 forwards all leading to the one spot.
Mitch McGovern sends it long. Briggs went from the side. Cannon into a couple of them. Wouldn't want to be one of those. And the ball's on the ground level. Jono, did you know that Ash's brother is a heavyweight boxer?
Really?
He's not a heavyweight.
He's a boxing coach.
He's bigger than you, though, isn't he?
Yes.
So the Blues down towards half forward and strong by Mackay. Took a good mark. He had Cunningham running. Elected not to go there. He looked for Curnow, but straight back to Buckley.
That was a poor kick. Curnow was pointing up the middle of the ground. He wanted to tick back and get that lead up the middle, and Mackay just put it straight to Buckley's favour.
Brady, one thing we haven't mentioned is Chu Spa. I thought that got a bit of a go.
Pressure hasn't been high enough.
Well, when the West Coast Eagles were in front last night, he put the message into home after North Melbourne gave up the number 1 pick. And then the Eagles surrendered their lead. Well, did you get in the spar? It was already on. You may as well.
Nick Larkey kicked his 9th. It was like, we're thinking about getting a new spar.
I did say it'd be the first time in history in the Chua household we wouldn't fire up the spar after a win. But I did concede defeat when we did.
Here's Angwin. City side wing tackle. Got his handball away. Sard there first for Carlton and bangs it back to half forward. Curnow gave a push. It was right in front of the umpire. Blues fans not happy, but it was there on the Harvey Norman replay.
And Kate, one thing the Carlton players don't need to get sucked into is the crowd here. Like we know the crowd is going to get into it every time there's a free kick, but they need to stay professional. They need to understand, yes, it was a free kick. Let's move on. Let's get to the next contest. Let's make it right.
Had a good 30 or so minutes of playing time, Buckley. He was beaten early by Curnow, but he's fought back well. Curnow still with 2. A long way to go for Buckley in that duel. As the Giants move the ball towards Angwin on centre wing. A floating ball was a finger breaker. Nobody could take the mark. Toby Green wrapped up and ball it up.
Thanks, Toby. Toby straight on.
70 from goal.
Okay. Just here.
Umpire would swim with the toe. It's Toby or Mr. Green to you. Elevates it. Josh Kelly, quick kick into side forward 50. Keith. Watch the bouncing ball. The human caravan. Jacob Weaving punched it away. Now Newman stepped around on the left towards centre wing. A bouncing ball. Cunningham will get there first. Whitfield's quick. Does he close him down? He did a really good job, Whitfield. And then just held him out. Wants to go back and get it. The ball now is out of bounds. Well done by the Giants again. Defensively, very good. They lead by 6 points.
Till it's thrown. Hold the meter. Come on, Kieran.
8-5, place 7-5. We'll go through all the finals calculations in a moment as well, Chu, what this game means for the Giants and also what it might mean for others in the battle for the top 8. Daniels was taken high. Free kick to GWS, who are putting their head over the footy and being rewarded. Whitfield runs away, tries to pinpoint Hogan. Late fist was a good one. Akers, hot handball at half-back.
No opportunity.
To Chera. Shimmy's free now. Akers follows up, busts through the first tackle, and then handballs out into vacant space. First there, though, Kelly for the Giants, who sends it back inside 50. Should have been a free kick against Lockie Keefe, and it was. Little callous as he was all into Jacob Wiedering.
Blake Akers gets in really good positions as a defensive wingman.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he nearly broke through a couple of tackles and got it on the out, but just gave a little bit of an errant handball which turned it over again. But yeah, gets himself into great spots to get the turnover and going back the other way.
Had a good year as Blake Akers, the former Saint and Docker. The Blues towards centre wing. Curnow handball to Cunningham. So who do they kick to? Because Curnow was all the way up on the wing. Martin on the bounce. Can he get the football? He can't. Coming through was Connor Iden. Did a really good job. Perryman's handball was good. Now Buckley settles just outside 50, chips the ball to Angwin. Angwin's got a runner, and that's Kelly. Kelly with another handball forward. Hogan, another one to Bedford. Bedford handball. Hogan quickly inside forward 50, but under pressure. They can only go as far as Wiedering.
At the moment, I think when the Giants win the ball, Kate, they're just running harder forward more than once the transition happens, they're just going straight away. Where Carlton are just a little bit slow when they win the ball, they're all sort of just leading up the football rather than going forward and being that opportunity.
6 minutes into the third term, haven't had a goal as yet. Walsh loops a handball over the top to Cunningham at left half forward. Mackay and Himmelberg in a one-on-one. It rolls out of bounds. At 40 out from the Blues goal.
Both teams last kick inside 50, letting them down at the moment. The Giants just aren't giving their forwards time to reset and lead back up because they're moving the ball so quickly. So the forwards need to adjust, start deeper and lead up.
Robbo for Bob Jane team-ups.
The free kick count, 11-9. GWS up, but the Carlton fans are going off their rockers this quarter. Seriously complaining over everything. Spilt milk.
The Aussie 65-62 up against Germany. Germany just hit a three-pointer.
Good for the Boomers. Winner of that game will go to the top of their group in the FIBA World Cup. Cottrell. Not without it. Walsh. Cunningham. 50 out from goal. Handball back. Hewitt got through the first tackle. Long left football is there. Something out of nothing from George Hewitt. Scores a level at Marvel Stadium, 53 apiece. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Needed someone to assert some ascendancy on this game, and that's exactly what Hewitt did. Won the ball out of the stoppage and beat a couple of Giants and then threw it on the boot from a very tough angle, but really, really classy finish and just able to cause a little bit of pressure at the stoppage, will the ball forward. Walsh, then another handball out, and yeah, great goal from Hewitt in the context of this match.
He's got some good purchase on that from 40 on the left. Under pressure, Hewitt scores a level, 53 apiece. Kate McCarthy, Chris Johnson in the back row. Triple M's super special comments, making hard work pay off. Ash doing the stats as he always does, doing a great job. Really bounced back after Adelaide. Ash on the run. That's the Lockie Ash from the Giants, not our man Ash. Who was certainly running late at night in Adelaide, 4 in the morning. Almost broke his thumb. Had a black finger there for a while. The nail was all no good. It's come good now, Ash.
Has for just in time for finals, Brownie.
That's very good. We're all worried about you. So Ward stepped in and out of trouble. Got the handball out to Ash. Standing start from Ash. It's inside forward 50. Brown went back, but good mark by Kemp. The Blues are lifting. Kemp, short ball. Missed Newman, but Newman was good enough to pick it up from hands on the ground level to Wiedering.
He decides to drive it long to the City side. Cornelio on one with Chera. Did okay. Ball hit the ground and now follows up. Quick hands Green. Back to Cornelio. Works it out to about 50 out. Pops one over the top. Toby Bedford in the pocket. Pulls his kick back inboard. Couldn't find a target. McMullen. Tackle. Carlton dive on the ball. Lock it up. 35 out from the Giants goals. Scores level. 53 apiece. Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Umpire elevates it into the marble sky. Daniels burrowing through as he does. He's only a small wee man, but he does a good job and he lays the tackle and keeps the ball in.
Can always rely on him for that. hustling at ground level and then laying the tackle again. Good small forward work.
Keith to do the ruck work against De Koning. Keith picked it up, got it out. Quick kick at goal by Cornelio. I think he might have kicked that. He has.
I didn't see. There was a play on the line. I didn't see.
Quick handball came out. Cornelio found himself in some space. All the Blues players were on the defensive side and nobody could touch him. 59 plays 53.
Yeah, classy goal here. Just got the movement through the stoppage, then kept going out the other side and just had literally a second to think about it. But for mine at the moment, what my eyes are telling me that GWS want this more than what Carlton do. There's some sort of individual efforts or efforts going through some of their defenders, midfields or the like, and just not getting across and just doing the fundamental stuff that you need to in your defensive 50.
Huge game for Cornelio in his 200. That's his second goal, and geez, he's had a good season so far. Career high in disposals and equal career high in score involvements as well.
Yeah, number one rated player, Kate, at the Giants this year. Third ranked player on the ground as we speak, 18 disposals, and as you mentioned, a couple of majors.
And a man that couldn't get a game last year at certain times. Captaincy taken off him.
It's worked wonders for him. Giants lead by a goal for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy as Dow busts through the middle. Kicks a tumbly ball. Curnow, I'm almost certain he didn't touch that first.
That's not a mark.
First hands were from Durden. And Curnow sold it well. He's been paid the mark, 30 out directly in front.
That's what the eyes are telling us at the moment. Just waiting for the Harvey Norman replay to come up, but it did look like that from here up in the commentary box that it was all Durden.
One step around for Charlie. That's his third. He's got the look of a man who knows that wasn't his mark. He goes back and finishes and brings it back to 59 apiece once more. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, he sold it well, just looked at the umpire and said, that'll be mine. Still haven't had a replay of it, but...
Well, he went back to Durden and said, thanks, mate.
Pretend you didn't touch it and I'll take it from here.
So here it comes, Harvey Norman replay. And I reckon Durden had all hands on it, two hands, and then it popped up and Charlie Curnow took it. So the umpire was there, spot on. He needed to play on, and he paid the mark for some reason. Robbo boundary.
Blake Acres, 21 possessions, into the rooms now. Doctor, medical kit. They've assessed him, I reckon, for concussion, taking him in. Also, the medical kit means that something could be opened up as well. So Blake Acres in strife.
A lucky one for the Blues, a lucky one for Curnow, but they'll take it and scores a level. Back in the middle, Chera. Tackle to the ground, but was good enough to get his handball out. Tracking the football was Hewitt. He'll get a high ball or a high tackle. Chips the footy into the middle. Newman standing right in the centre circle. Handballs it forward to Fisher. Fisher's got a runner. Inside forward 50. Fisted down to ground level. Dow ran over the football. Whitfield was in there as well. The ball now popped out. Perryman sits on it. Whitfield hurt himself, just holding his ankle. Dow went through, tried to burrow with the football. Not sure Burry's a word, but we'll roll with it. And the ball up. 40 metres out from the Blues goal.
It's that extra handball, Kate. They needed to go. Newman needed to get it inside forward 50 because they had one-on-ones all forward of the ball.
Chris Johnson, Kate McCarthy, Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. We've got you covered all night long. Himmelberg rode the bump, but he has stayed down inside defensive 50 as Whitfield shrugs off his little ankle issue. And Josh Kelly in possession. Harvey Norman replay on Harry Himmelberg. Get back to that in a moment. Kelly up the line. Long fist from Kemp. Martin got rid of his man, then Newman flipped a handball over the top to Martin. Goes back to Newman. 75 around from Carlton's goal. Next link in the chain is Cottrell, who turns around and drives long. Curnow got rid of Buckley, but Buckley got a fist on it. Giants track it towards the boundary line, and Cornelio has it.
Quick squeezing kick out, still under pressure, but the ball now out of bounds. So the boundary throw in. So the Boomers were 66 to 62 up in the blink of an eye. Germany now 72 to 66.
Having a look at the Harvey Norman replay, it was a good challenge from Jack Martin. I reckon he's copped a big hit into one of his ribs there, Himmelberg. He doesn't look great, but he is staying out there. Waved away the trainers, but looks very sore still.
Yeah, the clash was okay. There was no hit to the head. It was all shoulder. So he's knocked the stuffing out of him. Could be a rib. Robbo will be all over that. The best in the business down to the boundary. And now the Blues with a high ball inside forward 50 again. He looks okay now, Himmelberg. He got up and spiked that 40 metres back, and he's going to do it again, and he marks it. Oh, what a courageous man.
Miraculous recovery.
He was down for 15 minutes, but as soon as the ball went in his area, he was good.
You, mate. Yep.
Now the Giants move the ball to Daniels on centre wing. Daniels, he's got players out. One of those. He's the man who kicked 9 last week in Jesse Hogan, and he'll go from 45 out.
Again, the transition. The GWS Giants are just using it better when they come out. Their forward structure and their connection between the midfield and going inside their forward 50 is much, much better than Carlton. Carlton at the moment going forward. Forwards are still leading the same direction, where here the GWS Giants are actually getting separation.
Jesse Hogan to put the Giants back in front. 45 out, 45-degree angle. The stuttering approach. He's been on song this year. He's hooked that one through for one behind, and the Giants do take the lead. Robbo.
Marchbank into the contest. Akers, I thought he got clipped. He's gone in the rooms. I reckon he's failed that concussion test. So Akers out. He had 21 possessions going well. He's had a good month of footy, I reckon. So that is the first sub. And I reckon there's a bit of a word to Nick Haynes from the coach as well. They could be pulling the trigger there for GWS.
Well, I'd be right in saying, Robbo, 12 days doesn't make him available for next Friday night if they play then.
Yeah. That's going to have to come into calculation for sure, Brown.
Meanwhile, Jake Riccardi is on the end of a short pass. Has it left forward pocket for the Giants. I haven't seen a lot of him tonight.
Has to make the most of this then, Jack.
4 goals a couple of weeks ago against Port Adelaide. What about that for a finish? Spot on from Jake Riccardi. The Giants extend their lead to 7 points. They're 10-6-66. Carlton 9-5-59. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Caravanning Reimagined, the new Melbourne showroom, opens September 23. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Well, sometimes as a forward, you don't see a whole lot of footy in games. Might not be going your way, going to other forwards, you're leading out, running through, and it's going over your head. But Jake Riccardi just made the most of his opportunity that he's had tonight and tucked really tight up against the boundary and took a couple of steps out and just rode that beautifully back between the sticks. So that's what you got to do when you don't have an opportunity, or when you get your opportunity and you haven't had many. You've got to make the most of them.
Just the play-ons in the back half. Back on what Jono was saying, Giants going at 29%, Blues only at 10%.
2 goals apiece in this third term. The Giants lead by 7 points. Tom Green in the middle. Got the handle out to Josh Kelly. They've both been good. Kelly found some space. Was able to get some distance with his left. Going back was Jesse Hogan. Couldn't mark it. Fisted away. Cottrell took it nicely. And then he ran away and then a left-hand bounce. Cottrell keeps going. Handballs forward. Now the Blues will run and carry through Dow. Dow to centre half forward. Looking for Mackay. Mackay kept his feet. Everyone else went to ground to get the handball out. Hewitt, right foot inside forward 50. The lead comes out from Durden. Durden overruns it. Went back. Got it. Perryman played it well and got it out of bounds with a boundary throw in. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Choice Hotels, Germany 74, Boomers 69.
Robbo.
Yeah, we saw Nick Haynes getting his final instructions from the coach. He's coming into the game. Toby McMullen out in the back stalls. He was the laid in for GWS.
Subbed out. Subbed in, I should say, last week. Toby McMullen subbed in this week. Out. It's Nick Haynes. Make sense of that if you can. Good Bedford rode the bump. Green tried to tap it on. Daniels can arch the back at left half back. It's an aggressive kick into the corridor, but it pays off. Whitfield handballs to Bedford on the move. Has got Riccardi on his own inside 50 and finds him.
Good kick.
Yep. Everything in him wanted to go for goal there, and he saw that there was Jake Riccardi out, so he kicked it to him.
For Jake Riccardi to kick 2 in 3 minutes.
Hold there, please.
And again, it's that transition of the Giants, Jono. You've been red hot on that this afternoon.
Well, what happened? They had 4 or 5 players out from the congestion. There was a congestion part of play on half back, and the Giants got out.
Riccardi makes no mistake. 13-point lead to GWS. 11-6-72. Plays 9-5-59. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So they're just getting past that first zone of Carlton defence. They're pushing up, but all of the Giants' small forwards and midfielders are working past that, getting a handball out, and then they're just running in waves through the middle of the ground. And Whitfield, a great handball to Bedford, and really good kick to Riccardi. And Riccardi now has had 2 opportunities in a couple of minutes, and he slotted them both.
It was a great kick because he could have been in 2 minds. He knew he had the wheels to have a bounce and cross the 50. It was an open goal square, but he had to kick it early enough to get it over the top of Wiedering. He did a very good job, and Jake Riccardi back-to-back, 13-point lead of the Giants. Umpire Matt Stevic in the middle. Nice bounce to Koning.
I like it again, guys.
Looked okay from here.
Straight back. Here we go.
Umpire Max Stevic will go again. Throws it up this time. De Koning did a good job. Briggs stepped in and out of trouble. Got it to Kelly, who's having a big influence, but they lost the football to Dow. Dow's handball was good. Smothered off the boot. Cunningham an opportunity. Handballed it up. Ooh. Ash came through and did a good job. Fisted away. Tracking the football back was Hewitt. Hewitt, a long handball back. Free kick is going to go to the Blues.
Why is that coming, Jono?
Yeah,
through, got someone then.
Yeah, he got someone nicely. I think it might have been. Yeah, just didn't look at the ball at all and just got him off the ball and just put him on his behind.
Didn't like he's celebrating.
Look at the Harvey Norman replay. Huge Coffee Expo ends Monday. My selected coffee machine and get 10% back in gift cards. Carlton bang it long. It's fisted towards the boundary line. Hollins and Angwin see it over. 6.5 minutes before three-quarter time.
Harry, I think.
The Giants have only been in the top 8 for 4 weeks of the season. It's the least of any team who have been in and around the finals race. If they can engineer this win today, they'll have timed their run to perfection. Green kicks that out of bounds. Carlton will get the footy back, 55 out.
Back 2 metres. Play on.
So the Blues launch it again. Looking for Curnow. Got out the back and Briggs got back and took an easy mark on his chest. So this is dangerous kick, but it's good to Whitfield. Took the game on. Probably didn't need to, but it's worked out okay. Now the Giants work it out. Himmelberg, defensive 50. Went one way than the other. Now chips the ball towards centre wing. Looking for Riccardi. He's the hot hand at the moment. He kicked the last 2. Lloyd sockers it into the boot of Kemp. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Giants.
That's 50 metres.
And 50.
50 metres to the Giants. Kemp can't believe it.
Now, I want to say that's against Cherokate for coming in off the bench, potentially.
Yeah, it could be, but I think they told him to take the mark, Kemp, which is the foot on the line, but usually the umpire will then take the time to go over to the player and tell them to put the foot on the line, which I was about to blow up at, because you'd think for the whole season, if you know it's an out of bounds on the full, you know your foot's got to be on the line. So players playing a little bit dumb with that one, and I think he's pinged him for the 50.
Wouldn't want to be buying real estate from this umpire either. That's the best part of 35, and Lloyd goes at 70%.
It is a very long kick at the footy. You'll have to kick it from 51. Absolutely flushes it.
All clear.
Giants have got their lead out to a game-high 19 points. 12-6-78 plays 9-5-59. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, the Blues have got a lot to do. All credit to the Giants at the moment. As I said earlier in this third term, that they just look like they want it more. They're moving the ball better. They're up on top of the ground. They're running on top of the ground. They're playing team football. They're playing for each other. When they haven't got the ball, what I'm more impressed about is that they're getting after Carlton. They're actually tackling well. And then once they get the ball and turn it over, geez, they're just going through for a flurry. Kick the goal from a 50-metre penalty, but they're just giving themselves every chance in this game.
Harvey Norman replay showed it was against Paddy Dow. Ash.
In Triple M Red, Harry Himmelberg, number 1 ranked player in this quarter, but he's had the most metres gained on the ground, 424, along with his 17 touches.
He's been good. Harry Himmelberg, or as Duck used to call him,
Himmelbush.
Himmelbush, just couldn't quite get his name right, the Duck.
Yours end zone.
The Giants centre forward 50 again, and the mark taken by Kellen Brown.
It's just the handballs at the contest now that are killing them at that centre bounce clearance. All of the Blues players went for the footy. GWS hold their space out, held balance at the contest. It was just a chain of 2 handballs, and they were out the front door.
But a handy player this season, 15 games for 15 goals.
10.
They would have taken that at the start of the year if they said that Kellen Brown's going to give you 15 goals. They would have said, yes, please. This for number 16. 36 metres out directly in front. Kellen Brown kicks it. The Giants got 4 in a row, and they lead by 25 points. 84 plays 59.
Well, they're really taking it up to this Carlton Football Club. They really want to spoil this party of this packed crowd here at Marvel Stadium tonight with the Carlton Football Club coming out in their droves. But, geez, this team, they just keep going and going. And, you know, we're talking about all Australian captains. Maybe their coach might be named Coach of the Year as well. Certainly what he's done with his football team has turned them around from last year. He's come in and he's got them all playing the same brand of football as most of the top 4 teams, and they're all on the same page as well.
25 points is the margin, Stu. What's this doing to the live ladder?
It's looking good for the Giants at the moment. They're 7th on the live ladder, level on points with St Kilda. In terms of percentage, 2.1%, in fact 1.1% differential between those two teams. Giants, if they win by 50 or thereabouts, they'll get a home final.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. As Brownie said, it's been a blitz from GWS, 4 in a row. They've taken control of this game. A shallow entry from Carlton will be cleaned up by Himmelberg.
And a positional move by Carlton. They've chucked Zach Fisher up forward now, so it looks like they need a little bit more speed around at ground level.
Ryan Angwin in his second season, back into the team this afternoon. Might be coming back in at the right time. Kicks to half forward. Ball gets out the back, and McGovern first there for GWS. Thought about handballing. Eventually did.
Yours, yeah.
Over to Kemp, a tumbly ball. Up to Fisher, as Jono said, has been swung forward and has some immediate effect. Good kick. But Curnow drops the mark. 65 out. Charlie was thinking about what was next, and then he gave it up by hand.
Missed the target and landed in the hands of Toby Green. He's looking for, and he finds his man down there in Hogan. Hogan right foot inside forward 50. Sloppy sort of kick off the boot, but it works for Bedford. Bedford is 45 out. They have to kick it every bit of 52.
Again, they're just relying on Carlton's mistakes. The Giants, they're waiting for Carlton to make a mistake and then just go.
Gave off the handball, and that'll be holding the ball. So an error from Bedford. Looking behind play, and Fisher looks like he copped one, and Fogarty will take the free kick. So that's the second time Himmelberg's got the wraparound handball around the back, and it hasn't worked. They'll put that one away today. Short ball. And now the Blues.
It's McGovern. Kicks to a 2-on-1 city side wing. Great mark from Haynes. What was the sub? Very expensive sub. Put the flight of the ball marks.
Play on.
And Daniel Lloyd, 75 around from GWS goal. Wants to punch a low kick for Daniels. It's off hands. And out of bounds. Another forward 50 entry for the Giants. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Stu.
Around the grounds, we've got Germany 79 to the Boomers 77.
You can tell he's out of his depth there, Stu.
I'm trying to be as convincing as I possibly can. But I knew I wasn't.
Just do your best, Stu. Just read the scores and get straight out after that.
Just read the score, mate.
Keep it simple. He's Toby Green's kick smothered. How's Brownie's hosted one pre-game? All of a sudden, he's Marv Albert.
Just name the two countries and the score. I'm trying to be as economical as I can with my...
He was told to ask one question
That's
at
right.
half-time, and now he's an expert.
The light's going to go out. You got one question. Don't stuff it up. So the Blues, again, the ball goes out of bounds inside the forward 50 for the Giants.
Were you happy with your question?
It wasn't bad. I said, what did I say? I said the Brazilians got the jump on you, but you clawed it back. So it was more of a statement than a question. He said, absolutely. Jack White did. Then he went off, and I said, good luck in the second half. Then the lights went out. So boundary thrown on the 50.
Literally.
The Giants, Perryman, standing start, gets some good distance with it, but Marchbank, the sub, comes back in and takes a nice intercept mark.
So you've got to look at Carlton now, because they've made one change. They've got to make some other changes now. If they want to win this game, they've got to put some other positional changes into this football team.
Well, that's the thing, John, is the Giants' kick goes out of bounds. Do they have to, and do they want to?
Well, you're going to have to. If this arises in the finals and you haven't tried something out, this is a perfect scenario where you should try something, and if it works off, great. But then Did it work? What reasons didn't it work? And then address it. But at the moment, the Giants are all over him at the moment. The inside forward 50s are heavily weighted in Carlton's favour, or by +3. But they've just got no chemistry between their midfields and their forwards at the moment. So they need to work on something.
Yeah, Jono, this is like a free hit for them. They get a chance to play around with it, see what can swing momentum back in their favour before they have a week off and head into finals.
Chris Johnson and Kate McCarthy, Triple M Seabar super special comments. Haynes against the boundary line. Everyone gave up on it. Haynes tapped it back into play. Umpire said play on. Daniels handballs over the top to Bedford. Cornelio on the move, 60 out. Shares it inboard. Toby Green gathers off a step and misses from 40.
Come here, come.
Chance goes begging, but all of the momentum right now is with the Giants.
Right out.
And the margin is 26.
Yep. Wait for it, Toby.
McGovern normally likes to go long.
Play on.
And he's going to try and hoik it towards the wing, or if the boundary line beats him, it's out of bounds on the full. That's what Mitch can do sometimes.
Yes, go through. On the line, Harry.
Just kicked it out of bounds on the full for no reason.
I'm through. Thank you. Stand. Yes.
So Isaac coming.
Play on.
He'll reload and put the Giants back inside forward 50.
Yours. End zone.
It's a low, hard, flat footy, and Caleb Marchbank gets the fistfield out of bounds. So boundary throw in.
Good kick given the context of the game. Just get it into the pocket, force a stoppage. If Carlton do get a turnover from there, it's hard to go through the zoning of the GWS defence.
A lot of players around this footy.
Hold the meter.
All one-on-ones. The Giants through Himmelberg have got a loose back in defence. And the Blues behind the footy have got a loose as well. And that's Kemp.
Yours.
But Chincotta wins this one. Can't help but think that that's a fresh cut pre-game.
Stand.
Straight back to the Giants, and a short ball fine's coming.
Not a great fresh cut either.
Not sure he's got much choice on what haircut he's got. Alex Chincotta, unfortunately.
No.
Coming long ball.
What is that?
Play on.
Not sure there's much left.
Oh.
I feel your pain, brother.
That's side 5.
Walsh can wind down the clock. 10 seconds before three-quarter time. The Blues will trail heading into this last term. What happens next is the big question. The Giants are in the box seat. Finals is theirs if they can close the game out. 13-7, plays 9-5 at three-quarter time. Chris Johnson, Kate McCarthy, Ash Stewart, Mickey Roberts, Nathan Brown and Jack Everin. That's your Sunday Twilight Call team. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M, Roxford.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
This week, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10. Only on the My Maccas app.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, featuring
Can we dare to dream?
Marty Sheargold.
Oh, sniffer dogs are here. Everybody run!
It's a show for grown-ups.
Absolutely love your show. I listen to it at the gym, and people must think that I am on a lot of substances because I am just laughing and laughing.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
As Dad used to always say, there's a lid for every pot.
6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
Kobe is a cheeky 9-year-old that loves bikes and fast cars. He has acute flaccid myelitis, which has meant long hospital stays away from his family. But Kobe and his family had time together thanks to his wish to live like his favourite YouTubers.
Kobe's wish came true when he stayed in a mansion, played laser tag, and rode in a limo.
Helping sick kids find hope is something we all have the power to do.
Find out how at makeawish.org.au.
Make a wish.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year spring spend and save is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750, or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles spend and save event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save.
At Specsavers, get more with your optical extras. Choose 2 designer pairs, no gap, from the $199 single vision range with selected health funds. Hurry until August 30. Get a free anti-reflective coating on your second pair. Conditions apply. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Okay.
Rosa knows tennis is a mind game.
Sure is.
Luckily, she's got less on her mind since rethinking her home loan.
Aced it.
By refinancing with Macquarie Bank, she was able to restructure and personalise her home loan to reduce her repayments.
And reduce the worry about my repayments.
So now, Rosa has a little more time to focus on her backhand. Rethink your home loan and you could reduce your repayments. Another reason to say...
I bank with Macquarie.
Search Macquarie Home Loans or call your broker. Lending criteria, fees and T&Cs apply.
Disney 100 Wonders collector cards are now at Woolworths. Celebrate 100 years of Disney with 100 of your favourite Disney, Pixar, Marvel and Star Wars collector cards. There's something for every Disney fan. Plus, fun card games to play with your family and friends. Get one pack free with every $30 you spend. And right now, get a bonus card pack when you buy any participating Moccona or Bonds products in a $30 shop. Helping you get your Woolies worth. T's and C's and exclusions apply while stocks last.
Here's to the ute drivers of today. Get more with every GWM ute across the Canon ute range. More technology, more style and more versatility starting from $33,990 drive away for ABN buyers. GWM ute, made for more.
Melbourne's best buys. All over it.
Sign up to a BP Plus fuel card and save on every litre. That's doing business the clever way. Visit bpplus.com.au to find out more and to apply. bpplus.com.au.
Best buys.
Calling all romance fans. Get ready for Lonely Hearts Radio, an Audible original audiobook starring Adam Demos and Erin Richards. Lonely Hearts Radio. Listen free on Audible.
Melbourne's best buys. All over it.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade. Let's make light work.
Great quarter of footy for the Giants. They kick 5 goals to 2 and take a 26-point lead into three-quarter time for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Ream Hot Water, of course, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Just before this game, Chew, what's going on at the FIBA World Cup? The Boomers in Germany, please.
Jeez, it's tied 83-82. Germany's way over the Boomers, Jack.
Well done. In and out quick. Keep it simple.
I reckon there's 23 seconds to go and they're sending Josh Giddey off with a blood rule, and with 23 seconds to go, I think we want him on the court.
They're just checking if there's a foot on the line here. I think either way it's an Aussie ball. Chew, while you're on a roll, Red Z lending numbers from the third quarter. What do they tell us about the Giants?
Yeah, from that third quarter, the Giants, 20 entries inside 50 and efficient as well. They kicked 5 goals, 3. Blues only the 14 entries for 2 majors. And Tom Green continues to rack him up. 8 touches in that quarter. Number 1 ranked player overall, 28 disposals and 6 clearances. Giants inside the 8, sitting 7th on the live ladder. Level on points with St Kilda, only 1% separating those two teams. Giants win by 50, they get a home final.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, they've got a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Robbo.
Some worries for Carlton too, injury-wise. Blake Acres out of the rooms now, had ice on the neck and high on the shoulder. Emergency services down here were called to try and find a neck brace for him. So that's the reason why he's out. And Fisher, Zach Fisher, he went down behind play. He's in the rooms, having viewed video, concussion test.
Yeah. It's getting close to finals now. It's the last thing that any player or any team wants is concussion protocols. 26-point lead to the Giants for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy as we start the last quarter. The Giants are charging towards the finish line, and Ward drives a high ball to half forward. Callum Brown playing in front, couldn't mark. Green picks up the crumbs and kicks low towards goal. It's across the face and it rolls and rolls and rolls out of bounds. Thrown in next to the left point post in the forward pot.
Toby could have had a bounce there and run that about 20 metres closer as well, and pretty much kicked the first of the fourth quarter.
We're up against the point post. The boundary umpire spins it back into play. Briggs got the hand to it. Haynes has got some space. So too has Bedford. Right foot snap. Get a bit of the top of the square. Riccardi sets himself. Hogan too. Callum Brown picked it up. He was tackled. Ball pops out. Toby Green handballs. Looking for Josh Kelly. Couldn't find him. The Blues should be able to run it out, but they give it up again. Riccardi tackled. It's outside defensive 50 now, and the umpire will ball it up.
Been playing a minute in this last term.
Guys, out the way. Rock.
Paddy Mills loses possession and the Boomers are going to lose this game. The FIBA World Cup. 4 seconds left. What are you looking for from Carlton here, Kate and Jono, in this last quarter?
Well, their midfielders need to get to work here, win some contests and then take the ball away from it. At the moment, GWS midfielder are just running all over them, either with the footy or when they're spreading from the contest.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Kate. They need to get some running there, and they need to make sure that they're bringing the ball out of the front door of the stoppage rather than try and go around. Bring it out the front door and run at the defenders of the Giants.
Kate and Jono for Seabus Super, making hard work pay off as Whitfield kicks quickly from the stoppage. Brown got one over the shoulder. High contact. Green played on when he shouldn't have. Dribbles a ball towards goal and Wiedering's there at fullback.
So he unloads with a barrel. Briggs did well. Going back was Hollins with courage. Josh Kelly short ball. Toby Green smothered off the boot. Kelly another opportunity. Just slams on the boot straight back to Sard.
You look here, and now there's no one running forward for Carlton. They're all just walking. Their body language when they win the ball in their back half, they think it's time to rest.
Sard finds Curnow. Curnow on a long lead. Moves it quickly. Looking for Jack Martin, but Iden outdoes him again. They're the better of that duel. Handball off to Whitfield. Left foot in the middle of the ground to Daniels, been busy all night. Turns around and then pumps it back in. And he finds Bedford, who's been good. 40 out directly in front.
Kate, all of that was uncontested. Uncontested. Iden makes that mark against Martin and brings it back inside. And then from that transition, all the Giants are on this skinny side and they all just run towards the corridor and they get used.
Goes at 50%, set shots, 8 goals, 8. Toby Bedford,
6, 5.
12 disposals as he starts his run-in. Took his allotted time. Early stages last quarter this to put them out by 32 points. Bedford for 48, hooks it through for one behind. 86 plays 59.
One in, please.
Just to recap, Chew, from a ladder point of view, we'll get back to that in a moment as Fogarty run down. His kick scoot off the side of the boot. Jordan is there to mop it up and they go back inside defensive 50. What's this all meaning for both teams?
For both teams, well, Carlton, they're sitting 5th on the live ladder and they should remain there.
And this should be a straightforward goal. Toby Green handballs over the top. Riccardi had to walk the tightrope a little bit. But he kicks his third. And now it gets interesting because the margin pushes out to 33 points. Tell us where you were from a ladder point of view.
So Carlton, they've locked in 5th spot on the ladder, but this is where it's interesting. So GWS sitting 7th, level on points with St Kilda sitting 6th. There is 0.6% separating those two teams. So if GWS, they surpass St Kilda, they get the home final against the Saints.
How much is 0.6%, Chew?
Well, the margin currently as we speak is 33 points, so they probably need to kick another 3 goals, and that should do the job, Kate.
Yep.
Straight back. Here we go.
So the Giants have now kicked 5 in a row. Riccardi, 3 of those. Lloyd and Brown, 1 apiece. For McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M. Rocks footy. In the middle is Briggs. Cornelio's been fantastic again. Runs the arc and then pumps it back in. Bouncing ball inside forward 50. Toby Green tackled as soon as he got it. Released his handball to Bedford. Handball on the up to Haynes. The sub. Back to Green. This is Tom Green who bananas it and bananas it out of bounds on the full.
Chew, what are the clearance numbers looking like at the moment, especially centre bounce clearance?
Centre bounce clearance is a 12-4. Overall, the Giants are +6. But they've been good. Carlton have been very strong scores and stoppages. As we know, number 1, they're only +10 today, Carlton.
It's a two-man, got all the Red Z lenders. Loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Ball's out of bounds, city side wing.
I think the difference between those stoppages is how they're using the ball out of it. So at the moment, Carlton, if they're getting a stoppage win, it's a scrappy ball because there's pressure on the source, but the Giants, if they're getting it, like we just saw Cornelio waltzing out of the centre bounce clearance, could put the ball wherever he wanted to because there's no pressure on the ball carrier.
Tom Green wins that clearance. High ball to half forward. Toby Green flew early but still kept his eyes on it.
Stand there. Move out.
Man on the mark.
Move out.
48 metres out. A little worse than a 45-degree angle.
And I think across the board it's been the contested possession as well. And I think this quarter, too, man, the contested possessions on the... it looks like the Giants are just winning that ball at the source quite easy.
Absolute smashing. 13-3 Giants way.
8, 7...
3 goals, 2 for the afternoon for the skipper. The lead at the moment is 33.
Touch, play on, touch ball.
Kick was touched as it goes out of bounds. So the next best result for the Giants is a stoppage.
It's touch.
It's going to be thrown in about 15 around from their goal.
Sorry. Just hold the ball.
I think his
hold
ball's
it.
touched.
Lucky, Tom. Lucky, Tom. Thanks, mate.
So the umpire resets them. We'll have a boundary throw in. 92 plays 59. Giants in attack. Touch ball off the boot of Toby Green. Keith did the ruck work. Coming through was Daniels. Daniels right foot snap across the body. A bouncing ball. It might bounce through. It has. They'll confer the umpires, but I think this is a goal.
I believe it's a goal. Can just check if the ball was touched.
The umpire agrees with me.
Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Can we please check to see if it's touched?
Jacob Wiedering was getting back. Does he get a hand to it? I don't think he does. Hard to tell. The footy's blurred. What do you reckon?
Yeah, having a look, I don't think I can see it really make any contact with his arm. Looks like there's a little bit of space that stays between the ball and his arm. He got a bit of a dirty bounce there. It just bounced
normally
straight back up.
tell from the player straight away. Jacob Wiedering offered nothing when he ran back. Didn't protest, didn't say he touched it. So I think this will be a goal, and the Giants will go 39 points up.
Although the Giants, all the players on the field are setting up for a behind.
Here's a better angle, and that has completely missed his hand.
Absolutely.
There's a big gap, isn't there?
There is a big gap. So Daniels looks at the scoreboard, as everybody else does. Taking a long time now. They're having a look to see if it was touched off the boot.
It's a pretty easy way to fix this if you want. So it looks like something else. Another bit of vision's come up there, Nate.
Well, Newman off the boot, but...
Review complete. Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball is touched or not. Decision on the scoreboard.
I told you that 3 minutes ago. 98 plays.
You go down, Steve-O. Yeah.
59. That's a goal of the Giants.
All clear.
And Daniel's very happy with his own work. And the Giants go further ahead.
Well, maybe an easy one too to get this review is just probably go and ask the player, did you touch it?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you touch it? But well done. That's been, I guess, forward stoppages for the Giants have been pretty good today. They've worked it out. They've been trying to get it to advantage quite a bit, and they've got a lot of movement through their stoppages as well, Kate.
And they've got so many players that are dangerous on the move. So you got Brett Daniels, who kicked that goal. Toby Green, we know how deadly he is at a stoppage. Toby Bedford as well. And Iden, who's quick as well. So the more movement you got, and also the players that are electric, they get the ball on their boot nice and quickly and have a good goal sense. They got plenty of those in the forward line.
That's another goal, Chew. What does that do to the live ladder, Red Z Lending?
0.3% differential between St Kilda sitting 6th, Giants sitting 7th.
Well, the Bulldogs have just booked their trip to Bali. Now all of a sudden, who's hosting a final in week 1 might look a little bit different. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Cunningham out of the middle for the Blues. Kicks a long searching ball to half forward. They just have not had the answers in the second half, the Blues. Only 2 goals.
Jacob Wiedering got a bit upset. One of the cheer squad from the Giants actually touched him when the ball went over the fence, and then one of the other cheer squad behind him, the female patron, was telling the male off, and he was trying to say he hardly touched him, but put his hands on him as the ball goes towards Charlie Curnow. Ground level, the Giants. Buckley been good since quarter time. Angwin, handball was good. Himmelberg been outstanding. He stood up when it mattered. Caleb Marchbank marks it. And he'll pump it back inside 50.
So, Chew, Saints fans listening at home are cheering for Carlton to score as many goals as possible here.
Yeah, no doubt, Kate.
That's not going to help their cause.
Move out! Move out! Play on.
Himmelberg marks at fullback for GWS, who lead by 39 points. They are 0.3 behind St Kilda on the ladder for 6th spot. You threw it up as a scenario too before the game, but it was pretty unlikely.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jack. I thought highly unlikely.
It's absolutely on now. Giants are playing some seriously good footy. Jesse Hogan, outer side wing.
Move on.
Out of the three combinations, that came in at number 3, Jack.
Red Z Lending. Brown from the back for the Giants. Dropped it at half-back. Daniels inboard to Keith. Quick hands, Cornelio. Quicker once again. Coming. Flicks an extra handball to Himmelberg. It's centre-half forward. Absolutely spot on the kick. Low and flat. And Ryan Anglin on his own in the forward pocket marks to make it a 45-point game.
Well, that's what they've done. They've done that pretty much all night, the Giants. Well, probably not all night, but mainly for 3/4 of tonight's game, is that they've just used the ball better in time and space. They're under pressure at times, but they're executing their skills and hitting targets inside forward 50.
Right side for a left footer. Oh dear. It wouldn't matter what foot he kicks with. That has missed everything. It's gone about 7 metres off the ground. That's filth.
It's one of the worst kicks I've seen in the history of the game.
Play on.
So the Blues.
Play on.
They're obviously not going to win this game. They want some sort of form going into the finals as they run and carry off half-back through Newman. Chips the football, a bouncing ball. Right on by Chera. Had players coming at him. Hollins smothered off the left boot. Durden was there. He couldn't take it. Hollins went back in to try and take it. And he went back in a third time, Hollins, and now the umpire will ball this up.
So he just marks inside forward 50 for the Giants again. I know we spoke about it in the third term, but it seems like they're still getting a fair bit of ball inside their forward 50.
Yeah, 13-7, Giants' way.
Big hit by Briggs. Ash was good. Handball out towards Kelly. Kelly on the left foot down towards half forward. Wiedering in the best position to mark this. And he does.
Stand.
See the crowd's thinned out.
Stand.
Yep.
Blues fans have headed home.
Sunday night.
Which is good. Means we might get out of the car park a bit earlier too. Water, big fist, broadcast wing. Nice work by Durden, kept his eyes on it. Bedford slow to get up. The Giants win the ground ball. An advantage paid to Lloyd, who takes possession 60 metres out. Looks for the short pass for Toby Green.
Stand now. Cheers, mate.
You've given him some room tonight.
Yeah.
We've given all the forwards for GWS some room. They've looked up, and the midfielder running in has just had the ability to basically pick what forward they want to kick it to. And yes, that's a little bit on defenders, but it's a lot on the midfielders for not putting pressure at the source or putting pressure on the kicker. When there's pressure coming on that, they don't get to choose who they want to kick it to. They have to kick it to their first option.
14 minutes into the last quarter. Green goes bang.
All clear. You want me to stay in?
He's got 4. And the Giants are climbing the ladder in the last game of the home and away season.
15 years old.
The lead is 45. Where does that have them to? Red Z Lending.
They're currently in 6th position on the live ladder. They have nudged St Kilda ever so slightly.
So at this stage, the Saints are on a flight to Sydney next week to play GWS at home.
Spot on, and the Blues will be playing Sydney at this stage.
I would have thought that couldn't have possibly happened today.
Absolutely no way.
You mean coming out of defence, yeah?
That's GWS's 10th goal from a mark, so that is a big number. Carlton usually only concedes 5 goals from that source, so that just supports the lack of pressure on their users and also the lack of pressure from their defenders.
Robbo.
Crowd, 44,354. The record was 30,295. Smashed it.
Nice work, Robbo. Bob J.T. March back in the middle for McDonald's Rim Hot Water. As we speak, the Giants are in 6th and they've got a home final. That could change, though. If the Blues kick a couple, throw.
We sending Robbo up there?
Free kick.
Come on, stand.
Go to the Giants and
Stand.
Bedford.
No, I got it. Okay.
Bedford chips it into the pocket. Toby Green the target, and why not? The ball get out the back. And the ball's out of bounds.
Of that crowd, about 20 of them are happy, and it's just that tiny little pocket behind the GWS Giants goal at the moment. Probably the least amount that they had in any of their games this year, but they're going to go home happy.
Kicked 60 goals this season, Toby Green. It's a damn good effort. Boundary throw in. Hewitt. Quick handball. He found Walsh. Walsh, it went off the side of the boot. Isaac Cumming take a very good mark in front of his Carlton opponent. And that was Cunningham. And he's going to pump him back in.
He kicks low and flat. There's a push and a bit of holding against Jesse Hogan. And a Carlton free kick. Caleb Marchbank at fullback. Well, the story here is the Giants, who lead by 45 points and are currently in 6th position. And if it stays that way, they will host a final in week 1. Ball kicked off the ground into the middle of Marvel Stadium. Hollands has a fumble. Handballs to Harry Mackay. It was smothered. Pressure by Bedford. They're just cruising at the moment, Carlton. Hollands got it back. Flares a kick wide. Now Cottrell, 65 metres out. Pretty ordinary kick coming in. Kicked off the ground. Hollands has followed up for a third effort. Into the pocket. Martin tackled. This game is just about slow to a walk.
Let's be quite honest, the Bulldogs didn't deserve to make it the way they played the last month.
Correct.
Kieran coming.
That was ugly by Carlton. That forward entry was woeful, indecisive, skill execution poor. Not what you want to be taking in the finals.
It's the voice of Chris Johnson on Triple M Footy. Also moonlights on Channel 7.
Harry! Kieran!
Very good looking man on the screen.
Yeah.
Watch it front.
Not in person though, hey?
No, you're okay. So boundary throwing. The game has slowed right down. That's why I'm talking crap. Not about you, John. I just in general.
Oh, no, thanks, Nathan.
Marchbank.
Outside 5! Outside 5.
So he's on centre wing. Ash, just to remind us, where are the Giants on the ladder?
At the moment, 6 on the live ladder. So home game against the Saints. Blues at this stage to take on Sydney in the other elimination final.
So the Blues work the ball towards half forward. Sam Walsh chips the ball into the pocket, hoping for the best. And then again, Isaac Cumming was good, not paid the mark. Tom Green kicked it out. Bedford been everywhere. And he slides in and takes the mark at halfback.
He's been good, just his energy around the footy, leading up, but also getting back and so clean below the knees as well on his ground balls. Very good skills from Toby Bedford.
I think he's 45 points, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, he hasn't been known for his skills, has he? He hasn't been known coming through his junior ranks for his skills, but certainly his speed and his intensity, he's brought that today, that's for sure.
A 50-metre penalty goes against the Giants.
Mitch.
Couldn't help but notice that Robbo's voice was a little flat too, knowing the Saints at this stage have lost their home final.
Heard him cheering for Carlton to score a few more goals down there.
He was starting to get all the tickets organised as well.
The self-preservation from Robbo.
Yep.
Rux.
Wonder if the Saints hosted a final, Brownie, given that he's a St Kilda personality, does that equal more functions in the week leading up? Is that more cash?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's just got to decide whether he takes the cash or puts it through the books.
I think we know the answer to that.
So boundary throw in. The Blues in attack. Quick kick out of that pack. It's going goalwood and it's bouncing through. Durden Jaman. First Carlton goal in a long time if it is. The umpire's going to confirm. The umpire believes it's a goal.
Umpire's call.
Robbo does too.
Check it wasn't touched.
He's checking to see if it doesn't touch the post. The bouncing ball. Very close to the foot of the Giants player there in Iden, but I think this is going to be a goal. Out of the pack, Durden. Carlton's last goal was at the 11-minute mark of the third term. Ball goes over the hands of the Giants players, and the Saints are back with a home final. If this one gets paid, it should be a goal. Taking a long time.
They are taking it all a long time.
I think we should get used to this. This is our future for the finals.
Looking at these angles, we can see a gap between the ball, the GWS defender, and the post at all times. Decision on the scoreboard.
So Durden gets the goal, and the Blues get their first since the 11-minute mark of the third term. But it's back to 39 points.
So obviously the skipper not playing tonight, Kate. You got to look at will they make other changes around that forward line. Certainly their back half has been pretty good in terms of standing up when the balls come in there, but certainly where they've dropped away is through their midfield and in their forward line.
Yeah, and I think obviously Cripps a huge out from that, but Doherty has been big. He's been playing a lot of midfield minutes, especially in the back half of this season when they started to turn their form around. So I think they've really missed him as well. And for me, it's been the midfield. It's been that spread from the contest and that ability to put pressure on the opponent's midfield as well.
What about Jesse Motlop? Do you see him slotting into that forward line?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of smalls in there that probably haven't stood up tonight.
No, I agree. I think he'd be definitely on the cards to add a little bit of a different dimension. We've obviously seen the change of Fisher going into the forward line as well, so they're looking for something different down there.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Robbo for Bob Jane T-Mart. Saints are back into sixth.
Yeah, I've jumped the fence. I've grabbed a jumper, Carlton jumper. I'm oiled up. I'm sitting here in a short sleeve Carlton jumper, barracking like buggery.
I love how you say that you needed that for an excuse to oil up. When, it's pretty much a daily routine anyway.
I saw him pre-game. He was already oiled up.
Bedford on the end of a handball, tries to get it back again. He's 65 out from goal. Arches the back in a tackle. Daniels has been proactive this afternoon. That handball couldn't find Josh Kelly. And Nick Newman for the Blues. What's his afternoon look like? 2 Red Z lending, Nick Newman.
20 disposals, metres gained a little bit down, 292.
Now the Blues run and carry. That man Newman's got it. Handballs it off. Walsh inside forward 50. Looking for Fogarty. Fogarty could market it. Hit the ground level. Owies, the celebrator.
I'll go through.
We have a ball up.
And that's what we haven't seen a lot of. Newman running those lines off half back, pushing the ball inside his forward 50 or around the middle of the ground. Certainly hasn't been able to do what he's done in the last few weeks.
Lloyd from the standing start pumps the ball towards centre wing. I wonder if the Giants players know what's on the line here. I wonder if they know they're 0.3% behind and the next goal puts them with a home final.
Oh, surely you'd have to be all over that.
You would be surprised how much AFL players...
No, but you'd hope they'd had like an analyst in the box that's told the coach, then the coach has told the players on the bench. So you'd really hope that that's got out there.
So someone like you.
Yeah. Two-man in the box telling us all.
Used to do his best work with Dennis Pagan back in the day. How much did you get paid per game at the Kangaroos?
Per game, 16 cents, $125 a year.
Play on.
The inside forward 50 of the Giants. Toby Green just wrenches it out of the hands of his opponent. Got it to Canelio. Canelio snaps the football, bouncing, and through for one behind. So 105 plays 65. That is a 40-point margin.
Giants had lost 2 in a row prior to last week. And this is absolutely straightened them up as they lead into finals now. It's just a question of where they head. Good athleticism from De Koning to run away from the wing and blast a long ball to Kemp, who's been shifted forward in this last quarter. Owies around the periphery. Ball didn't come out.
I reckon hold there, Kurt.
What's that, Steve? Stay there.
Live ladder as it stands, Stu. What's it look like?
We've got the close one on the live ladder. It's St Kilda 0.3% ahead of the Giants. In 6th position, Giants 7th.
40-point lead to GWS. Walsh pushed over by Tom Green. Caught a foot.
Your arms down.
Umpire says we'll throw it in. 30 metres out from goal.
Lucky, Tom.
So 5 minutes 44 to go. The Giants get a home final, or do the Blues steady and hand it to the Saints? Boundary throw in to Koning, wants to grab it out of the ruck, almost did. Cunningham came through. Cunningham's handball back to Fisher. Fisher to Holland, smothered off the boot. It's been a big part of the Giants game today. A lot of smothers. Canelio, quick handball out to Ash, who's been wonderful. And he finds Connor Iden. Iden chips the footy. Lloyd breaking wide. Kicked a big goal in the third term. Retiring at the end of this season. He's got a runner on the outside in Whitfield. Whitfield sold some candy quite easily.
Play on.
And now they run and carry again. Down towards half forward. The left foot inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Haynes, the sub. Coming through was Kelly. Kelly's handball. Found Daniels. Daniels was tackled. Handballed it over his head. Marchbank clears the area. And the mark out there taken by Fogarty.
Play on.
Less than 5 minutes left.
Outside 5. Play on.
40-point lead to GWS. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
You now, handball.
Blues have got the corridor. And Cottrell can share with Taconi. Honours the run of Chera as he gallops through the middle of Marvel Stadium. Kicks to a 2-on-1. Mackay didn't stand a chance. Robbo, Bob Jane team, Arts.
Yeah, Wiedering on the off. So they got their stars off. Curnow off. McGowan off. And they put Nick Martin full back on Jesse Hogan. So Michael Voss has seriously put every cue in the rack.
It's got all the pace of a Legends game right now, this.
So boundary throw in. Cunningham, underground handball, finds Hewitt. Hewitt, another one to Martin. Standing start with the left foot towards the top of the goal square, fisted away. Haynes will be the first one there. Collects the bouncing ball. He's got a runner on the outside. Elects not to use it now. Chips the ball to Bedford. Bedford still at half back. Got nothing to kick to. There's about 8 Carlton players. You got probably 8 Giants players lining up to his right. Bedford, long ball. Riccardi at the front, over the back was Kemp. Took a strong mark. The Giants look out on their feet at the moment. They need one more goal to give them a home final.
Outside 5.
We said before if we thought they know, but I don't think they do with what they're doing at the moment. They don't look like they're hungry for another goal to score themselves a home final, and that changes a lot of their season here.
Point 3 out of the top 6 position that they're hunting for in that home final. 3.5 minutes to kick another goal.
You both
They get a ball up 50 metres out from the Blues goal.
This way. Thanks, George. Rux.
Toby Green's got 4. Jake Riccardi's kicked 3.
Let it go.
Stephen Canelio a couple for the Giants as well, who have been far too good today. Fisher off the stoppage. Kicks it. Now the Giants have got a problem. Zach Fisher with his first. And Saints fans can breathe a little easier. Carlton 11-5-71. GWS 16-9-105. 27 make that 28 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Yeah, just having a look at Adam Kingsley down on the bench. He does look like he's moving the magnets around a little bit, and the players on the bench definitely knew that goal cost them. So bit disappointed down there. So the 2 that are going out now would definitely be telling the rest of them that they need 2 goals to get back up into 6th position.
The way they played at this ground, though, today, they most likely come back here and play the Saints. They're not going to be worried about this venue.
So now 0.6% separating St Kilda and the Giants. Just with Zach Fisher, last 3 weeks averaging 28 disposals today. He's picked up 21 and kicked that major.
Found out half-back's a lot easier than half-forward, Jono.
Yeah, that's where they put most failed forwards, Brady.
Cool.
I was a failed forward.
No, you weren't. Absolutely not. One of the great kickouts Jono was from full-back. Used to be able to look one way and then look like he was kicking one way and then just completely go the other way without even looking. So Canelio on centre wing. Handballs forward. Ash had a fair bit of it. Runs his full measure and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
He had 2 players completely unmarked, one in the goal square, one in the corridor about 20 metres from the goal square. Took 20 steps too far. Could have just kicked it straight away to them.
2.5 minutes left. Giants will need 2 goals to host the final in week 1. And Mackay drops it from that kick in. It's out of bounds. 70 out from GWS goal.
Also went on an island tour one year with John.
Was it the island tour?
Oh no, it was enough. Like the Scott boys and Jono, they just took it to the Irish. Oh.
International relations have never been the same.
Wasn't it impressive?
We've made up. We're beautiful people, the Irish people, and Pi Canelli's helped me with that. And
wasn't it
beautiful people?
Oh, I was scared. I was on their team.
Nice hands to Coney. The Cunningham has a fumble. Giants have got 2 minutes and 10. They can reload through Ash next to the centre circle.
Ash has got Green on. Missed him. Ball come out the back. Adam Sard. Handball's off. And he finds Hollins. Hollins slices one wide to Owies. Owies will look up and he'll have Curnow, and he's got Durden over the top if he goes there. He doesn't. He chips the ball towards Mackay. Mackay 1 bite, 2 bite, couldn't take it. Himmelberg's been terrific today. Paddles it out in front of him. He's got Owies for company, but he's good enough to get the handball out towards Haynes. Haynes looks for Toby Green. Toby Green fell over. Enough time to get back up, but the Blues come through with numbers. And picking the footy up was Newman. Newman to Cunningham. Cunningham puts it out in front of Hewitt. Hewitt has to stand up. Canelio doesn't even attempt to spoil it. He knew he was going to give a free kick away. Short ball, and the lead from Martin is on it. And Martin will go 40 out, 45-degree angle.
McGovern down behind play, guys. Just maybe a little whack in the guts there by Toby Green as he just came past when he attacked that footy off half back. So taking a little while to get up.
Looks like it might have been a bit lower than the guts.
What, in his knee?
bit higher than the knee.
Split the difference.
Martin's been quiet. 6 disposals. And that's out of bounds on the full.
Now, Brad, he's trying to work out, was that while you're at the Bulldogs or the Tigers when we done that tour live? I can't remember.
I reckon that was the year 2000. And I was at the Bulldogs.
Oh, so Das was talking to you then?
Yes. Hadn't quite blocked me by that point.
It'll be a free kick to Carlton. They take the advantage. Running banana misses.
Yeah, well done, Steve.
From Owies.
Talk to me about that guy there.
23 seconds left. The Giants will try and go end to end.
I'm here.
And get one last goal.
It's a long ball looking for Briggs. He couldn't mark it. Paddy Dow. Handball was good. Got it back. Cunningham couldn't handle it. Went back. Got it. Paddy Dow again. Working in a phone booth. High up and under ball from Fisher. Mackay has to sit underneath it. Couldn't mark it. Hines. Or Haynes even. Owies. Handball out to Durden. Durden to finish it. And hit the post from 10 metres out. That sums up Carlton's night. They go down to the Giants, but congratulations to the Greater Western Sydney. They finished 7th on the ladder. They're going to play finals. They've come from a long way back. The Giants win here at Marvel Stadium.
There's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Feel the ground is shaking. The other teams are quaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leap. We're stronger than the rest. We're the Greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best. And we will never surrender. We'll fight until the end. We're greater than the rest.
The Blues led by 7 at quarter time. The Giants 5 at the half, 26 at 3/4 time. Ended up winning by 32 points, and they dominated the Blues, particularly after half time. 105-73. And it's a very good song, this one. I like it. We'll head down to an on-ground interview in a moment, but first thoughts, Kate and Chris.
Yeah, well, having a look at the stats, they only won the inside 50 count by +2, the Giants, and ended up with 25 scoring shots to 18, as we'll just go down now to hear from Toby Green.
Equation tonight, and we knew we were a good chance and played a good brand of footy, especially the second half. Yeah, we're pumped. It'll be awesome. Who we got? Saints here.
Saints in Melbourne, so you're just 0.7 off that. There was the last couple of goals probably that cost you the home final.
Yeah, we knew it was close. We were trying to win it. We just missed a few kicks. That's footy. That's all right. We'll play anyway. It'll be good fun.
You've got a bit of a shiner and a cut above your eye at the moment. There was an incident just before half-time involving yourself and Jacob Wiedering, a bit of facial contact. Can you tell us what went on?
I don't know. You might be in trouble. I think I got in trouble for that, so we'll see how it goes.
The more mature Toby Green just reacted quite sensibly to that. Do you feel like you've learnt a bit?
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. I was hoping for a free kick. That's fine.
What about this group and what you've achieved this year? Adam Kingsley coming in to coach this group. Not many people would have expected you to make finals, and you've proved a lot of doubters wrong.
Yeah, well, we probably surprised ourselves with the level we could get to. I think our last 10 weeks has been as good as anyone. And credit, we put in a huge pre-season and sort of up and down the first 10 weeks, but since then, and we're playing a good, strong brand of footy. We're pumped. We can't wait to take on the Saints in September.
So aside from all of this, Stephen Cornelio in his 200th game, I know he's a heart and soul player of the Giants. How much does it mean to be able to get the win for him and qualify for finals in such an important milestone?
Yeah, it's amazing. He's one of my best mates and played with him for 12 years, and he'll be so pumped with the result today. And he's got 50 people from Perth that have flown over. It shows how much he means to people, and he's just a special character, and he deserves everything that comes his way tonight.
Brilliant performance individually. A lot of people looking forward to watching you play in September. Best of luck against the Saints.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Giants are there. Yes, they missed out on the home final, but you could probably hear it in our effects microphone at the final siren. They were pumped. They were hugging and cheering, and they're just happy to be there, as we said before. From 6 wins last season, change of coach, they're playing finals footy.
Well, you look across the team, and obviously your team are going to be happy, but you look to our right, support staff, and you look at them and you see the joy in their face and what they're able to sort of show, and they are over the moon. They are over the moon, and they deserve to play finals. Their last 7 to 8 weeks has been outstanding, and the football that they've been able to produce, not just at home, they've been able to go away quite a lot and challenge some really, really good football teams.
This is the Triple M Amy Review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fan insurance and you could win.
And today they did it all without Sam Taylor as well, who now has a good couple of weeks to get his hammy right for that first round of finals against St Kilda. So Max King will come back into the Saints team as well after being rested to get his knee right that he had a little bit of an issue with this week. And Sam Taylor, Max King, that is going to be a fantastic matchup. But great work to Jack Buckley as well. He did a fantastic job, had a tough afternoon when Charlie Curnow kicked 2 goals early on him, then fought his way back into the match beautifully and probably ended up equalising that matchup, I would say, if not winning it.
The Maccas I'm loving at the moment happened in the first quarter. Here's how the Hev called it on Triple M footy.
Free kick to the Blues. Curnow charging at the footy. Flies and marks. 45 out, 45-degree angle. The Coleman is Charlie's. Every player on the ground runs to him. And Charlie Curnow defends his title as the Coleman medalist.
Nice. Well called, Jack. Well called. The Coleman medal safely in Charlie Curnow's hands. He got it done early, but he didn't get much of a look at it after that. As Kate said, Buckley did a really good job on him as the Giants are just about to head down into the rooms. Robbo is in the rooms and we'll take the song with them and the Triple MVP award. Who's doing that tonight? Jono, quickly as they get down there.
Yep, 3. I'll give my one
Start
vote.
with the one normally.
Yeah. Harry Himmelberg will go with 1 vote. 24 possessions, 553 metres gained, 9 intercept marks. My 2 votes to the 200th gamer, Steve Coniglio. Fantastic. 28 possessions, 4 clearances, 6 tackles. And Tom Green will get my 3 votes. 35 possessions, 6 clearances and 4 tackles. Outstanding job today right across the 4 quarters.
At New Holland, we grow through what you go through. Visit your local dealer today. Ashley, quickly, Choice Hotels around the grounds. Just let us know what's happening in the first week of the finals.
First week of the finals, we'll have Collingwood taking on Melbourne. Likely to be Thursday night at the MCG. And then in the other qualifying final will be Brisbane at home against Port Adelaide up at the Gabba. And then in the elimination finals, Carlton v Sydney at the MCG.
That's likely to be on a Friday night.
On a Friday night, we believe, and St Kilda at home taking on GWS for the first time in a final between those 2 clubs.
So Carlton and Sydney at the MCG, Collingwood and Melbourne at the MCG, Brisbane up in Brisbane, and the Saints here against the Giants. So the Giants won't fear coming here. They played a great brand of football tonight. As you see Johnny Patton on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen as the Giants boys go into the rooms to sing the song. A lot of high-fiving and going around, Kate.
And just don't forget, AFLW starts this week, so Friday night, no men's footy on, but Friday night, Melbourne and Collingwood at Icon Park, 7:20.
Nice one. All right, Robbo, Bob Jones, T-Marts.
Yeah, the entire crowd that was supporting GWS from behind the goals have come into the rooms. They are here. I tell you, who's really excited is the coach. Adam Kingsley. He is absolutely wrapped.
He got the stress ball?
No, he ditched that. That's pocketed. No worries there. He's shaking hands. Got a nice little ovation, the coach, when he came in too. So he is right up there for Coach of the Year. 200 games to Cornelio. Toby Green, my favourite. Didn't he lead well? And I'll tell you what, they're just gathering. They're going to play the Saints. Both clubs play pretty well in Melbourne.
Dave Matthews looks pretty happy down there too.
Oh, yeah, he's the other one's popping corks. He's got that magnum of verve we were fizzing up before. Here they go. Cornelio, they'll sing this song.
There's a big, big sound from the west of the town. It's the sound of the mighty Giants. Ground is shaking, the other teams are breaking in their boots before the Giants. We take the longest strides and the highest leaps. We're stronger than the rest. We're the greater Western Sydney Giants. We're the biggest and the best. And we will never surrender. We'll fight to the end. We're greater than the rest.
Best song this year.
That's a good one, Robbo. The Giants have won here at Marvel Stadium, and they're going to play finals 16-9, 105 to 11-7, 73. The back row, you were fantastic tonight. Leroy back in the studio. Jack, Ash, everybody else helped this put to air. That is 24 rounds of AFL football on Triple M Footy, run and done. And now we're going to week off. The women's football back next week. Who's playing again?
Yeah, so we got Melbourne, Collingwood, Friday night at Icon Park.
Can't wait for that one at Icon Park. So for McDonald's Ream Hot Water, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
The Australian music industry is what it is today due to the never-ending pursuit of countless talented artists and one man.
Mr. Gadinsky!
Michael Gadinsky, how are you?
Breaking and championing artists both on and off our home shores.
We're going to make you a star, kid.
The ride of the rock star behind the rock stars.
Bam, he blasts through the door.
Told for the first time on the silver screen. Ego, the Michael Gadinsky story. Only in cinemas August 31. Tickets on sale now. Visit your local cinema website for session details.
Dads, they're smart, funny, caring, and someone you know you can always count on. Hi, it's Marty Sheargold giving you all the businesses out there a little tip to get the most out of this Father's Day. When it comes to presents, dads are pretty fuss-free, much like audio. Cut through the clutter and put your business where it can be heard. Advertise right here on this station and unlock thousands of potential new customers using the power of audio. Visit triplem.com.au/advertise local.
From Kakadu to Ningaloo, Nandi to the Andes, you can save on flights to over 90 destinations across Australia and the world with the Qantas Everywhere Redtail sale. Now's the time to explore our global network and experience the Qantas difference for less. Plus, when you book direct at Qantas.com, you can enjoy a world of benefits, including our price promise. Book today and save at Qantas.com.
I've been everywhere.
Sale ends 31 August unless sold out prior. Conditions apply.
At Woolworths, we can help you spend less today. With fresh specials like Australian blueberries 170 grams, now $3.90 a punnet. That's today's fresh food, people. On sale until August 29 while stocks last. Products and prices may not be available in all stores or online.
120 years ago, in a small shed, four mates created Harley-Davidson. And to celebrate 120 years, Harley is on tour. Rolling into town this Saturday at Morgan & Wacker Harley-Davidson Epping. The Harley-Davidson 120th Demo Tour with 2023 models on show this Saturday at Morgan & Wacker Harley-Davidson Epping. Dealer license number MD19047.
One of the world's biggest shows, Billions, returns for an epic final season only on Stan.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Axe is back.
Tough to be a billionaire these days. Let's get to it.
And he saved his biggest play for one last showdown.
This is it. You can't escape your enemies.
It's all been leading up to this as the stakes grow from Wall Street to the world.
We're going to tell you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it.
The final season of Billions, now streaming only on Stan.
Beaumonts want you to be able to afford your dream space, so they created Beaumont Max.
Their maximum value, maximum quality tile range. Tiles under 20 and subways from under $30.
Choose Beaumont Max today.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2023, Triple M rocks footy.
We're excited.
Temper, a mattress like no other, aiding in players' rest and recovery. Discover Temper at temper.com.au.
How good is that?
Seabus Super, making hard work pay off.
And they're going to be hard to beat now.
Hard Yakka, for a new breed of legends.
They make it tough, they make it look good like me.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Aussie music is something to be proud of. Wear it like a badge. Because it's Australian bands and artists that are the influences of so many other musicians the world over. So at Triple M, we're proud to be able to showcase the power of the Aussie music scene, paying both homage to the greats that have stood the test of time, right alongside the current, the emerging, the future influences, the ones that will be next to make their mark on the global music scene. If it's Aussie and it rocks, it's right here. This is Triple M's Homegrown with Matty O.
Chris Holland taking care of things tonight. Hope you've had an amazing week. And I will not spend much more time, reminding myself of Bob Catter saying that, talking right now. Going to play as much music as I can. Hoodoo Guru's on the way. Something for Kate and Crowded House. But right now, The Living End. They're celebrating 25 years since the release of their debut self-titled album. It's on the top pantheon of Australian classics. They're doing one show in Melbourne at Festival Hall in November to celebrate that, and it's already sold out. It's going to be off its head because largely of songs like this.